This is the plaintiff, Alan Sternberg. He says he was taking his mother to get her nails done, was sitting in the parking lot waiting for a space, and the defendant backed her car into his. He exchanged information with the defendant, got an estimate, and sent it over to her. A few days later, he got a call from a man claiming to be her other half, and he told him this was a scam. He wasn't paying, and here they are. He's suing for $1,938.10, the cost to repair the damage. This is the defendant, Sophia Pasierski. She says she was backing out of a spot, looked both ways, and then heard a small thud. The plaintiff snuck in behind her, didn't see she was pulling out, and she rolled into him at 1 mile an hour. The guy immediately jumped out of his old scratched-up car. They exchanged info, and then she got a bill for almost $2,000. Is this guy crazy? His old car isn't even worth that much. It's clear to her that he thinks she's rich because she drives a Lexus and is just trying to take advantage of her by submitting this bloated bill. She is accused of a backup crack-up. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $360.08 for lost wages.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Mr. Sternberg, you are suing Ms. Pasierski for $1,938.10. The estimate for repairs to your car that you say were her fault. You have a counterclaim against him for lost wages, I presume for today,
Yes.
for wasting your time?
Yes.
Okay, let me hear from you.
All right. Once a month, I drive my mom to get her hair and nails done. She lives in a senior community about an hour and 10 minutes from my house. I picked her up. I went to the strip mall.
You're a good boy.
Thank you. I went to the strip mall. That's the strip mall. You have the stores. You have all the spots.
Come on over there and show me how it happened. Grab a car.
Pick a car, any car.
Pick a car, any car.
All these spots here are handicap spots. I pulled in here to get a handicap spot because we have a handicap placard for my mom. She's blind and deaf. As I pulled in, the first spot right in front of the hair and nail store, which is here and here, I saw the lights go on the back of their car. They were pulling out. So they pulled out. So now I'm waiting to go into a handicap spot. That's the defendant's car. That's my car. She backed up and smashed my car. The second it happened, she got out of the car. She stated that she's sorry, she apologized, that she was taking her mother somewhere, and that she never looked back, her mother was talking to her. So it was kind of coincidental like that.
What were you doing?
I was taking my mother for a follow-up visit after her cataract surgery.
Oh, you're a good girl, too.
So she hit my car. She said to me she had a clean record, and please don't get any insurance or police involved. I'm an hour and a half from home. I said, all right, let me just open my door. I opened the sliding door just to make sure because that's where the damage is. I have a picture and the car right out front. It's right on the sliding door. It opened, it shut smoothly. I got back in my car to move my car into the handicap spot to exchange information. We did that. I have the paper.
Yeah, you can go ahead and go back. So you exchange information so the police aren't called out or anything?
No call. There was a small dent. I didn't call police. I'm going to be 50 this year. I should have, in my knowledge, learned. I tell my 18-year-old daughter...
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you watch a People's Court?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so then you'll know that I always say, call the police.
She yelled, get a cop several times. So then she gave me the information. I figured, listen, she gave me her house address. She gave me her name, first name, cell phone.
So we're good. So far, everything's good. What happened, though?
So now I called her a couple times, home and cell. Didn't hear from her. One night, about 9:30 at night, I get a number from not either one of the numbers, and now it's a gentleman on the phone. The gentleman basically started out the conversation by telling me, accusing me of fraud. And I kind of laughed and said, yeah, I drive an hour and a half away so I can get someone to hit my 2003 minivan so I can get $1,900. Estimate was high to me, too.
The estimate is high.
I asked her.
Did you ever go take it to any other?
I got two more, yes.
You did get two more. Can I see the other two estimates?
Yes, you can. There's all three. Yeah. Now, I did, when I sent her the $1,900 one, and I said, tell me a place, I told the gentleman on the phone, tell me a place you would like me to go, and I'll take you to any place you would like me to go.
What did he say?
He was trying to like bully me in my eyes, that he was saying he knew a fraud investigator, an insurance fraud investigator. If it's fraud, I'm going to be in big trouble. And then we go to the part where it's a Lexus versus a minivan. I never brought up a Lexus. They brought up to me. He asked me my mileage. I told him it has 187,000 miles. It's a 2003. There's not a dent or a scratch on it. Now, my car's out front. Got it washed today, and if you'd like to look at it, you could look at it. I also have a picture. I don't care. You know,
Okay, I'm going to press that off button. Okay, take a deep breath. What happened?
I had just taken my mother out of the physician's office after going for a checkup with her. I had put my seatbelt on. I looked over to see if she had her seatbelt on. Before that, I had looked behind my mirror. There was nobody there. All of a sudden, I tapped the car. My mother asked me, why am I stopping? And I tapped his car.
According to him, he hadn't even moved. You just backed right into him, and he wasn't moving.
Well, then, yeah.
Either way, it would be your fault because you're backing out of a space and he's in the thoroughfare.
I don't deny that I tapped his car,
Right.
but I did not crash into his car. I have a picture of where he entered the...
Do you have a picture of his damage?
Yes, and I have a picture of mine blown up.
Let me see your picture of his damage.
That's his car.
Okay.
I don't deny that I tapped his car. I took a quick photo of the damage.
Well, this is more than a tap.
But if you look at his photo, there are horizontal scratches. Okay, there's an L-shaped dent in there, and my car would have had some damage, even a paint chip off or something, if I had done all of that damage. My contention is that that damage was pre-existing. I happened to coincidentally tap him.
That is your contention?
Yes.
That you just happened to have hit him in the one spot where he just happens to have the damage.
I didn't do all of that damage.
And it's just a total coincidence, and that must have been there before. And your evidence to support such an accusation would be what?
Those photos.
What college of accident reconstruction, what courses have you taken that would qualify you to look at the dent and say such a thing? Because it's a pretty bold thing that you're stating.
But look at the side door where the scratches are.
I'm looking at the side door. And what is it you wish for me to conclude by looking at that?
That I didn't do all of that damage, $2,000 worth of damage.
How do you figure that you didn't? Do you have is there another scratch anywhere on this van? Because he's inviting me to go outside. Should I actually do that?
I think you should.
You think I should? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Court's in recess.
So her defense is that he just kind of snuck up on me as I was backing up. Is that a defense?
No, it's not.
Why?
It's unacceptable.
This doesn't feel right. What do you think?
I don't think it's right because you need to look around and see that it's safe before you do back up.
And go slow enough.
And go slow enough, yes.
Right. Okay, going inside the card room.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Have a seat.
Nice van, right?
Well, you know, it's a 2003. Did a meteor hit the top of your van?
No, I put one of those big luggage turtles on there.
Wow, that did a number on the top of your car.
I'm still going to do it in June.
But from a standpoint of other cars, you know, it's got your 11 years of wear and tear, but there are no other hits. But, you know, and that doesn't necessarily prove one thing or another other than that it disproves what you said, that, yeah, go out there, look at his van, it's all beat up. It's not. It's really not beat up. It's got this, and this still hasn't been fixed. It's still there, so I got to see it head on. There is absolutely nothing about this that is inconsistent with the accident that you guys have described. It's just that you have some preconceived ideas about how it should look based on zero facts. Now, who's the guy who he says was a bully? Was that you? Come on up. And his relationship to you?
My fiance.
Okay.
Can I say one?
So, no, you may not. All right. So tell me about the discussions you had with him.
Well, I saw the assembly for the right door, $850 part itself, and that was also salvage part, not the brand new part. I was kind of shocked that if she was just pulling out of the driveway, how fast could it be the impact that it could cause the damage of $850 part needs to be...
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
All these theories you have when you don't feel like paying, none of them occurred to her on the scene. On the scene, it's, I'm sorry, let's just handle this between us.
We are not, Your Honor...
Why is it that if you think you didn't cause that damage, you don't call the police?
Because I thought it was, I know I tapped him. I thought it was just a dent.
You have eyeballs. You saw what you did.
I know, but it was also raining, and I tapped him. I was standing out in the rain. Hold on a second.
You didn't see it that time.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
Would you blindfold yourself when you got out of the car?
Don't say anything.
Tell me about it.
I took a picture of the car. I wanted to get back in because it was raining. It was only after I got his estimate that I took the picture on my cell phone, and I looked at it, and I said, oh, my God, I didn't do this.
We didn't see it. It's Your Honor.
This is why, if you are the innocent party in a car accident, you immediately call the police. What was your mother telling you to do?
Call the police, call the police. 12 times.
How many times do we have to go through this kind of thing before you realize you should always listen to your mother?
You know, nice guys finish last.
Now, you have a counterclaim against him, because this is priceless, for $360 for lost wages?
Right. I took a day off from work to attend this thing today.
He agreed.
Right. I have a word of advice
listen.
for you. Try not to hit people in parking lots, and then you won't have to take a day off from work to address
If I felt I did that damage, then I
What
would have
damage do
gone.
you think you did, sweetheart?
I
You
don't know
hit
how much
a
I did.
car. You know you hit a car. You apologize for hitting the car. You just say that coincidentally that car had damage in the spot you hit it.
I didn't know it had that extensive damage until I looked at the picture of my
Then
on my
tough
cell
for you.
phone.
Then tough for you, because you don't have, it's insulting. It is insulting. That's why I'm angry, because you hit a car, you know you hit a car, you have an opportunity to look at the car, but your answer is, we didn't really look at it. And then you can't wait to worm your way out of responsibility afterwards. It's
Wow.
insulting. And it's insulting because you don't just say, oh, that damage shouldn't cost that much. You have the audacity to call him a fraud. That's
didn't
the
believe
part
him.
that
I
is
didn't
really
believe him.
unnerving. He must have had that damage and he's trying to pin it on us. No, you know what? Pay the guy. I'm going to pick one of the three estimates that I think, because I do think the 1,900 is kind of high. So of the three estimates, no, I don't want to hear anymore. Of the three estimates, I'm going to pick the lowest, which is $1,587.24. Verdict for the plaintiff. And on your counterclaim, zero.
And so the lowest estimate goes over to the plaintiff. Step on in here. Your reaction to this case going against you here?
I really believe he's lying. I know my car had not a scratch on it. It's impossible.
Right next
Yes,
time.
just saying. It's impossible that damage could have caused.
Why don't you just suck it up and admit that
No, I don't. I admit that I tapped his car,
Yeah.
but the extent of the damage was not caused by my car.
you don't have a body shop? You're not an expert on that. Yeah.
He has 190,000 miles on the car. Okay, it's an 11-year-old car. The book value is 700.
You told her go out and look at the car. She did.
I know,
The
but
car was
I
in good
also-
shape. So what else? What else? All right. Follow Officer McIntosh around the corner.
Judges can make mistakes too.
Okay.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
I like to see her. I watch a lot of television.
Okay. She likes the judge. That's nice. Come on in. You satisfied how this comes out?
Sure.
All right.
I mean, someone hit my car, they made an agreement, and then they backed out.
What about you? You didn't get to say anything during the case. You got anything to add now?
Yeah,
ahead.
I kept telling him. I kept telling him and telling him, get a police
Call
report.
the
And he
police.
said,
Call the police.
The lady is honest and she'll take
Tell him
care
to
of it."
listen to his mom. Tell him.
Oh, I've been telling him that.
Tell me now.
Definitely listen to your mom.
All right.
All right.
I told
thank
you.
you.
Harvey?
Thank you very much.
Okay, this is very technical, but try to follow me here. If you are driving and you back into somebody, you're pretty much screwed. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Benedict Agnello. He says he worked for the defendant, got hurt, and when he filed for workman's comp, he was unceremoniously fired. Next day, he went to get his tools, which are worth at least $100,000, and was forbidden entrance. So he sent his cousin the next day and found many of his things were stolen and missing. He's suing for $1,010, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Richard Stiano. He says this guy's a scammer who had a previous injury and had to get an operation on it. He told him very clearly that when he was away, he had to lock his tools up because he wasn't going to be responsible for anything he claimed was missing. The guy basically got himself fired and is doing all he can to strike back by filing this bogus lawsuit. He's accused of being a darn tool.
Okay, Benedict Agnello, you are suing National Compressor Exchange Incorporated, represented here by Richard Stiano.
Correct.
You are the owner, correct?
Yes.
Okay. For $1,010 worth of missing tools that you say were his responsibility to protect, and he didn't, and have now apparently been stolen or are missing. Tell me what's going on.
Well, on Friday, March 12th, I was having surgery.
Okay, what kind of surgery?
Recurring tendonitis.
Okay. How long had you had that?
Well, I started with the company in, I believe, July of '08, and in December, I started having the problem.
Was it work-related?
Yes, it is.
Okay, how did you get it?
Pretty much by using a 5-pound hammer.
Okay, what
And-
kind of work do you do?
I disassemble machinery.
All right, what happened when you left to get surgery?
I was told that Richard said, lock up your tools. I said, if I lock up my tools, 2 sections are not gonna have tools to do their job.
Okay,
What I'll do is, he said, well, we'll get them tools.
okay,
So I spoke to Ray, my coworker. I gave him the keys to my toolbox, and I said, when your tools come in that Richard said they were gonna purchase, take my tools, put them away, and lock them up.
okay, but, okay, so the owner of the company says, if you're leaving for surgery, lock up your tools,
tools.
and you say, no, I'm not
I
gonna do
can't,
that
because
because
if I
people
do-
who work for you need my tools?
Right.
Why don't you just make that, this is a big company, right? How many employees do you have?
42.
42 employees, why doesn't he buy his own darn tools? Why don't you buy your own darn tools?
Well, the way it is when you're hired, you have to have your own tools.
Okay,
We do supply.
don't your guys have their own tools, or they have his
they,
tools?
They all have their own tools, except in Ben's mine, they have his tools.
Okay, all right, so now let's get back to you. So you allowed somebody else to have a key to your tools, and then you go off to have surgery, and then what happens when you come back from surgery?
Well, I went back the next week, let Richard know how things were going, and I wanted to talk to the coworker to find out if the tools were purchased and given to him.
Okay.
They weren't. I let him know I'll be back tomorrow, going to secure my tools.
So did you lock up your tools?
They wouldn't let me on the property.
Okay, who wouldn't let you on the property?
Tom, the supervisor,
Okay, and why wouldn't he let you on the property?
I think I basically was throwing him under the bus because he was supposed to be responsible for getting
Why
the
didn't you
tools.
just call your friend who you left with the key and tell your friend to lock up your tools? That was my
I
question.
didn't get to see him. They wouldn't let me on the property.
Could you call your friend who you left?
I didn't have his phone number.
You didn't have the phone number of a person who you left access to $100,000 worth of tools to?
No, I didn't.
Really? Wow. Okay, so go ahead.
But as I said, when
So what happens? Do you ever come back for your tools?
after I was told I couldn't get on the property, I came back the next day with my father, which was a Wednesday,
Okay.
and I was again denied access to the company. So I called the police
Okay.
and requested an escort so I could go in and get my property.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was change of shift, and by the time the police got there, they were all ready to close. And what they did was they took my tools, picked them up on 2 forklifts, and put them in the middle of the street.
Okay, and then what happened?
I took the tools out of the toolbox, put them in my father's car, waited for my cousin to arrive with his truck, so
Okay.
we could get the toolbox on his truck.
Okay, and
We
did you do that?
We did that
All right, so when did you discover that there were missing tools?
on Thursday
When?
of that
When-
same week.
Okay, but I don't understand, because you didn't look through the box when you were there?
The only thing I had time to do was take the tools out, put them in a cardboard box.
So is that a
get 'em
yes
out.
to my question? I'm not understanding.
I didn't inventory them at
That's
that
it.
time.
Okay, so then 2 days later, you realize that there are tools missing.
When I went back to my cousin's storage shed, that's what I was doing. I was
Okay.
inventorying my tools,
Who has access to your cousin's storage shed?
myself and my cousin.
Okay. All right, what's going on, Mr. Staiano?
Well, it's definitely not that story.
So, does this guy have a case, this plaintiff?
No, I don't think so. He left his tools there.
He left his tools. Did he have a duty to take his tools when he was on extended leave?
Definitely, he should have made arrangements, if he knew he was going to be gone.
You're nodding.
Yes, I believe he should have taken them with him when he went.
So he's a loser here.
I think so.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
First of all, I guess I should go back to the workman's comp situation. He had a chronic elbow injury when he came to work for me.
Okay.
And he even told me about it. However, in December of '08, he was beat up. He came in, he had black eyes and all messed up. And the elbow he has all these problems with was in a sling. In January the 10th, he took a couple of days off, 3 days, got a doctor's note saying that he had tendinitis. And he had this chronic problem all the way through. This year, he said that he was going to have an operation. I said, all right. He said it was on his elbow. I said, just let me know when. And he came to me and he told me he was going to have the operation in March, and I said, fine. He scheduled the operation. He scheduled probably on the 10th or the 12th, he scheduled the operation. And that Monday, the 15th, he came to work slightly intoxicated. Maybe he had some painkillers for his elbow. He was in a sling again. And
I mean, do you know he was intoxicated, or you're just saying he was out of it and it might have been painkillers?
Well, I don't know. It was one or the other.
Okay.
And my manager called me from the floor because I'm up in the upstairs
Is that
office.
Tom?
That's Tom. And he said, Ben is here. He's not coherent. He's either drunk or on drugs. And he said, I'm telling him to leave. I don't want him here. He's not allowed on the floor to begin with. And I said, well, tell him to leave. Tuesday comes, the next day, I get a call again in the morning. Ben is here. He's intoxicated. He's trying to get on the floor. I said, bring him up here. So they bring him up to the office. And I walk over to him and I said to him, what's going on? I said, why are you here? You were told yesterday not to come back. He goes, well, I got to check on my crew. You know, I said, listen, you're not a pit boss. There's no crew. You only work with Ray. I don't even know what you're talking about, crew. And I said, I believe, I said, look, either you're on painkillers or you're intoxicated. You smell to me like you're intoxicated. With that, he blew in my face, and I said, all right, get out. I said, here's what I want you to do.
In order to prove he wasn't intoxicated,
right in my
I
face.
take it? Okay.
So here's what I said. I said, listen, leave the building. Call me when you feel better. Give me a date when you want to return. Don't come back here. Call me. And I'll arrange for you to come back to work. Right. So this is where he fires himself.
How does he fire himself?
Okay. The next day he comes back again, only this time he's out in the front of the building and he wants to come in. They won't let him in. And he's screaming, I called the police. I want my tools. So I thought about it a minute. And I said, look, is he outside in front? They said, yeah. I said, if he's outside in front, take the forklift, get all his tools, and bring him out. Give them to him. I mean, I don't know what else to do with this guy. But
how'd you fire him?
He fired himself, you know,
I don't
by all the
that.
stuff he did.
But at some point, you tell him you're not welcome.
Well, when they gave him his tools, they said, we just want you to know you're not coming back. We're not taking you back.
Like, that barely needs saying, but I guess somebody said it.
Somebody said it. One of the managers said it.
All right, now let me ask you a question, though. You've since the time of his firing himself, okay, you've heard from him quite a bit, correct?
Right.
All right, tell me about that.
Well, after he got the tools, he went bonkers, I guess you could say, and he started calling everybody in the world. And so he put in a work comp claim that he put the claim in probably about a couple of weeks, 3 weeks after he had the operation. He claimed that the date of injury was on the 12th. That's the date he was getting the operation. Then he hired an attorney, a comp attorney, and the attorney, he sent a letter to the company that he was representing Ben, and there the date of injury was on 1/1/2010. So his injury seems to kind of move around.
Okay, now, according to you, you are being discriminated against by them because of what?
Because I filed workman's comp.
So you feel,
and I was fired.
But the workers' comp wasn't filed until after the whole tool debacle and until after you got fired, right?
I informed him that I was going to file workman's comp. When I found out I couldn't get on the property to inventory and secure my tools.
Oh, okay. So
yes,
when Tom tells
angry.
you you're not getting in here, you say, I'm going to file a workers' comp.
I was being nice to him by not going to workman's comp because I'm a disabled veteran and I can get free medical and free surgical. Rather than have him go through the expense or have his insurance premiums go up.
All right, let me ask you a question. How do you tell me how, Mr. Agnello, you feel that it is his responsibility to recompense you for tools that are missing, given the following situations?
Yes.
Number one, he tells you to lock him up and you don't.
Right.
Number two, not only do you not lock him up, you give the key to another person who you don't even know well enough to have a phone number for. And number three, you never inventory it when he gives it to you. It's not until several days later where other people have even more people have access to it. that you realize that tools are missing. Under those circumstances, why would I turn around and say it's your fault those tools are missing?
First of all, the only person with access to my cousin's storage shed is myself and my cousin.
How do I know your cousin didn't take them? Oh, with all due respect, I don't know your cousin. I don't know who else your cousin gives a key to. I know you give out keys like they're, candy. But, yeah, I don't know.
My cousin and I are very close. I didn't know he wouldn't
I understand, but do you understand the problem, though, in your lawsuit? Like the holes in your lawsuit?
In a sense, I do, but this whole situation could have been avoided had I been able, at the beginning, to inventory and secure my tools.
Do you know how else it could have been avoided? If you had listened to him when he told you, you're going to surgery, lock up your tools. Because it is not your responsibility to give tools to your pals. And if your pals don't have tools, they can go and get them from the boss, or they can go out and buy their own tools, okay? But it starts to be very difficult for you to prove that management is responsible for stolen tools because of their lack of security. The basis of your lawsuit is they have a lack of security. And through your own testimony, you crucify yourself by talking about how they told you to lock it, you ignored them, and you didn't even inventory it when it was brought out on a forklift. You can't win this lawsuit under these circumstances. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Well, the plaintiff has lost his case. This is him in the hallway here. Step over here. What's your first reaction to this?
Well, I can understand the judge's verdict.
You can?
I don't agree with it, but I can understand it.
Right. Why didn't you lock the tools up before you left?
Because had I took all my tools, the two sections that I oversee wouldn't have been able to do their work. So being a nice guy, I said, go ahead and use the tools, and when the company buys you the tools that they promised,
yeah.
We can
How's
lock
the
'em up.
elbow now?
It's still bothering me.
Yeah. You still getting workman's comp? Or
No, he's fighting that case, but he lost the first round of that yesterday.
You're still fighting that? All right. Good luck. Right down there.
Right.
Okay. Head right down there. All right. You're kind of like holding back a smile coming out here. What's? You look like you.
Well, I mean, you really can't be any wackier than him. He's doing everybody a favor, but no one ever asked him to do anything with his tools or give them to anybody. Everyone has their own tools.
He says you're striking back at him for filing the workman's comp case.
He just, since he got fired, it became a vendetta, and he's gone to like all agencies, and he keeps reporting.
Harvey.
Okay, Kurt, the plaintiff loses on 2 counts here. First, he can't prove who took the tools, and secondly, he has a duty to protect his own property. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Juan Pagan. He says he was completely stopped at a red light when the defendant rear-ended him really hard. He got some whiplash. His car was crushed. The cops cited the defendant for a hit and run, and he just wants his $685.77 back. This is the defendant, Tamara Larson. She says she and the plaintiff were at a dead standstill at a red light when her foot slipped off the brake and she rolled into the plaintiff's car. She was going all of 2 miles an hour. They both got out of their cars, agreed there was no damage to either, and went on their merry ways. The next day, the cops accuse her of a hit and run. Huh? The plaintiff's now scamming her, and she will fight to the end to defend her good name. She's accused of slamming a guy from the rear.
Mr. Pagan, you are suing Ms. Larson for $685.77, the amount you say she owes you to fix your car that she rear-ended, correct?
Right.
Tell me what happened.
I was going west on Park Street.
Okay.
I was stopped at a
Come
red
on
light.
over here and show me on the board.
Okay.
You're going, pick a car you want to be.
Okay.
I don't know why there's 3 cars there.
Yeah. Well, there was a red light, so it was a car in front of me.
Oh, that's why there's 3 cars there.
Yes. So I was completely stopped.
Okay.
And, I'm just
Minding your own business.
minding my own business. And she had a truck, so she had a big rendezvous. So she just whacked me.
Did she whack you into the car in front of you?
No, she did not.
Okay. So it was enough. Well, don't put him in the middle of the street.
Okay.
All right. So she, how fast? I know it's hard to say. I mean, was she going fast, or was it a slow roll, or?
I believe she didn't see me. It was like just a bam. Like,
So
she
it
didn't
wasn't
stop
a foot slip off the brake thing?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Had you noticed her behind you at all before that, or no?
No.
All right. What was the damage to your car?
Where was it?
Yeah.
It was this area here.
Okay, do you have
So-
pictures of the damage to
Yes,
your
I
car?
do.
May I see it? Okay, so do you get out of the car to survey the damage?
I get out the car.
Uh-huh.
I asked her if she was okay. I
Uh-huh.
saw my damages. I took down her plate number. I asked her if she was okay. And she says, yeah, I have 2 kids in the car, let me pull over. And she-
Okay, where was the damage to the car? What part of your car?
The right bumper. Right.
Okay, the right bumper or the
Right.
left bumper?
Left side of the bumper,
Okay.
sorry.
All right, in the corner.
Right.
How was it in the corner when it was smacking, when the hit was smack in the middle?
Well, I guess she didn't hit me straight in the middle. Probably was right to the side.
Did she slam on the brakes?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, so go ahead.
So
she says, I have
exit
kids in
out-
the
yeah,
car.
she says, I have kids in the car, let me pull over so we won't be in the middle of the road. So I pull over, and she just gets in the car and just evades the scene of the accident.
Okay, now, you had time to get her license plate number.
Yes, I did.
When did you get her license plate number?
Before she got out the car. I got out the car, and I looked. I had worked at a firm at that time.
A law
So-
firm?
Yes.
Okay.
So I know the process. I was like, you know what? Let me just take down the plate number, just in case anything
How
happens.
did you take down the plate number?
I took up my cell phone. I wrote it on my cell phone and saved
Okay.
it to my drafts.
Okay, so she, according to you, she then says she's going to pull the car over. What she does is take off.
Right.
All right. So you give the police. Did she see that you were writing down her plate number?
I don't know.
All right.
She must have. I mean,
All
I
right,
was,
right?
Yeah.
So according to you, she takes off with the kids, and then you call the police right there.
Right.
And you give them the plate number.
Right.
And then the police pay you a visit the next day. Why did you leave the scene?
Because there was no damage, like we discussed, and that's why.
But who
I mean,
gave you permission to
actually, I
leave
had
the
3
scene?
kids in the car. I had 3
So what?
kids in
I don't
the
care if
car.
you're in a hurry or whatever else. Who gives you permission to leave the scene?
You're right. Nobody does, but it was a busy area, and I've been in tons of fender benders that there's been nothing.
Oh, maybe you need to stop getting in fender benders.
I'm not driving on all of them, but over my lifetime with my mother, my father, my grandparents,
Uh-huh.
my boyfriend, my whoever.
Well, then maybe it's genetic, and you
You
need
know?
to go into some kind of
Could
gene
be.
therapy
The
for your
blonde hair,
children.
perhaps. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
It
People
could
pay
be.
good money for that. I
Could
don't.
be, but
what is the
regardless,
problem? Why would
the-
you leave the scene of an accident? That happens to be a criminal offense. You can't do that. You can't just leave the
I
scene.
didn't get charged with anything. The officer said,
I
and
don't
when the
care
officer
whether you
actually
got,
called me.
Lady, listen to my question. I'm not asking whether you got away with it.
I told you why.
And why you got away with it. Who gave you permission to leave the scene? For you to leave the scene, both sides
I
have
didn't
to be
realize
in
I had
agreement.
to have permission.
All you have to do is decide on your own that you don't feel like sticking around?
I guess when the 2 people involved agree on it, I assumed it,
Okay,
which
I just
we know
asked you
assuming
that,
does,
and
yes.
you said I didn't need permission.
No, I said I didn't know I needed
So
permission.
he agreed that you could leave the scene?
Yes.
He said, go ahead and go home, no worries.
What I said was, I have 3 kids in the car. If we're going to do this, we need to pull over here.
And then he
was on the
said-
phone most of the time, but maybe because he was on the law firm, maybe he was trying to figure that out. But he was.
And he said to what you said, what?
He said, no, there's no damage. And I said, okay. And I got in my car and I went. And that's why when the cops knocked on my door, which the Hartford cops had called me before, and I told them exactly where to find me. I wasn't hiding from anyone.
Well, he got your license plate.
Yeah,
if he hadn't
well,
got your
no, but
license
I
plate,
wasn't-
you would be completely
the
anonymous.
Hartford cop even said
like
to
all
me,
those other fender benders.
the Hartford cop even said, oh, there's nothing wrong. He just wants to file a report in case there's injuries. And I said, okay.
What injuries were there?
That's what the Hartford cop said to me.
Back, mid-back, lower back, and right wrist.
Okay, and how do you say the accident happened?
Well, I had stopped at the red light, and actually, like I said, not an excuse, but I have 3 kids, and one of them was yelling for something extra.
Okay, the only thing I know is that you have 3 kids. I know that beyond any shadow of any doubt.
And I'm
I'd
not a
like
good
to hear how
driver.
the accident
And I'm not a
happened.
good driver, so you say.
And so you say, and
It's
then you've been in
genetic.
hundreds of
It's
fender
genetic.
benders. All right, go ahead. What
So-
happened? How'd the accident happen?
So, do you have to wait for the cops to come if the other side says wait?
I would say no.
Why?
Because if you've given him all of your legal information, then that's all. I mean.
Yeah, but the fuzz is coming. Do you have to wait for the fuzz?
No, you give them all your stuff, so I'd say no. You don't have to.
Okay.
You should, but I think you should wait out of decency.
Out of decency. Well, decency has nothing to do with justice going inside the courtroom.
So I don't exactly remember how I took my foot off the brake. Like I said,
But
there was
according to you, you
someone
were at a
screaming
complete
at me.
stop?
Yes, and then then my daughter goes, "Ooh, Mom," and I looked up, and then that's when I got out of the car, and that's what we did, and that's when I left, and
And what is it that's going through your mind at that point?
When
That he's
we
trying to gin up some injury charges when there shouldn't be?
yes, absolutely right away. Even my daughter said it.
I got to tell you, I mean, it's an intensely low-speed accident. If this is all the damage it does, and you're telling me about how you have wrist injuries, you do understand that when you come to court, or are you under some did you get any advice about whether you should come to court to sue for any damages?
My
Because you
attorney.
understand you're not going to be able to do an injury damage after that. That it's you have to do this
Well,
whole.
against her, she was driving without insurance and she had a suspended license.
Okay,
And-
that's great. That doesn't answer
Right.
what I just asked. So did you hear what my question was? Or no?
Yes, I
What
did
did I
talk to my
ask?
attorney.
Right.
And I guess there's nothing I could do against her.
Okay, so you're not gonna, you're not under the impression that you're going to have a subsequent injury case, right?
Right.
And you're not suing for injuries here. You're suing
Right.
for the damage
Just
to the
that
car.
right, right.
All right. Now, were you driving without insurance?
Nope.
Were you driving without a current license?
Nope.
Okay. Where did you get the impression that she was driving without insurance or a current license?
I have the
I would
police
love
report.
to know those tickets.
Oh, let's see. Pardon me?
I don't have a car now, so.
What does that have to do with what
Well,
I
I'm saying,
what is
'cause right now-
with you people? What does that have to do with what I just asked? I asked
Because I don't currently have a license, but that was
oh,
after
you don't
that.
did you have a license
Yes.
then on the
Yes.
day that this happened?
According to the cops, yes, I did. I was told I did.
He's about to hand me a police report that, according to the cops, no, you didn't. Oh, look at that. Number 2, which is you, had a suspended license as of May 20th, 09. And,
nice to know.
And the accident happened when? July. And her insurance is expired. Wow, arrest warrant to, oops. Have you, that was last July. Is there a warrant out for your arrest that you might not know about? That's
I
entirely
highly
possible. All
doubt it.
kidding aside. That
Highly
might-
doubt it, no. If that was what I was doing, but
Suspended
that
li-
wasn't
All
what I
right,
was
lady,
doing.
pay the guy, okay? Not pay the guy $1 million for his personal injuries, but pay the guy $685.77 for the damage to his car you shouldn't have left, okay? That's my verdict.
Just hold on right here.
Well, that's about as guilty as you can get in the people's court. Step on out here, and you're the party we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't ever denied I hit him.
You just keep shrugging your shoulders and saying that's you got the shoulder shrug defense going on here.
Well, I never denied I hit him. That wasn't that was not what I was saying. So
You were saying what?
that I hit him, but I don't think I hit him to do neck and back and all that injuries.
Well, he didn't sue you for that. He just sued you
he
for
couldn't.
damage to the car.
Because he couldn't.
All right, okay.
As his lawyers told him.
All right, so, sir?
Yes.
Your feeling on this outcome here? What do you think?
I think justice was served. I mean, she hit me. She should be responsible. I mean, the reason I can't sue her for my injuries is because she has no insurance.
Mm-hmm. And so, you satisfied with what you came out with here?
Sure. Yes.
I don't know what else you could have done. How would you describe that defendant?
Psycho.
Okay.
I would
Harvey?
say-
Okay, Kurt, here's the deal. Legally, all you have to do is exchange information. But I'm telling you, if the other person calls the cops and the cops are coming, or you know the cops are coming, somebody call them, it is a really bad idea to leave the scene. There is a certain consciousness, a certain feeling that a judge would get that could really hurt you in the end. Bottom line, wait.
This is the plaintiff, Chris Yana. He says he found a listing for a security job online, moved from Texas to New York, and was ripped off by the scamming defendant. He was forced to pay for certification courses, was promised an actual job, and when he showed up, he was told he had no job at all. His practice must be stopped before someone else gets scammed, and he's here for the $1,644 he's owed. This is the defendant, Irene Nelson of Urban Dynamics Career and Employment. She says she's certified to give classes in security. The plaintiff enrolled in their courses, and all he had to do was show up at her place, and she would have placed him on a job immediately. The guy completed the courses she offered, then marched right on over to the Consumer Affairs office and filed a complaint. Huh? She's accused of running an online scam.
Chris Yana, you
Yes,
are
Yana.
suing Urban Dynamics Career and Employment Incorporated, represented here by Irene Nelson. You have power of attorney. What's your position with the company?
Job placement coordinator.
Okay. And you have authority by the owner to be here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. For $1,644 to be returned to you that you paid to them in order to, according to you, get a job, and you didn't get a job. Tell me what's going on.
January the 15th, 2010,
Okay.
I decided to move from Texas to here.
Okay. How long had you been in Texas?
4 years.
Where are you from?
Cameroon.
Okay. So you moved to Texas, and what were you doing in Texas?
I was in the Texas Army National Guard, and I was a security officer.
Okay. And then you come to New York, and what is it you wanted to do in New York?
Security and to finish my bachelor degree also.
Okay. All right, so what happens? How do you find out about the defendant's company?
I went to the New York City website.
Okay.
And I found some kind of advertisement about security operations.
Okay.
And I fill out the application. So the next day, Mr. Pearson gave me a call.
Mr. Who?
Pearson.
What's the name he's saying? You don't know these people. This has
I
nothing
don't
to
know
do
who
with you.
Pearson.
Okay,
I do
go
the
on.
job part.
Mr. Pearson? Pearson?
Exactly.
Okay.
He said, oh, you must come here first and then...
Where's here?
New York.
Okay.
You must move to New York and then we're gonna take you from there.
Oh, you're talking about, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not
still
understanding.
in Texas.
This is a job, who's Pearson?
Pearson's the one who probably...
Who's he work for?
He worked for UN Dynamics, of course.
Urban Dynamics?
Exactly.
Okay, and you're saying you don't know him, Mr. Pearson?
Ms. Lopez would be his supervisor. I don't know Pearson directly,
Oh,
but
okay,
I
but
know
he works
Lopez.
for Urban Dynamics. All right, so he tells you, well, first you got to move here.
Exactly.
Okay, and then what? Then we get you a job?
Exactly.
Okay, so you move to New York and you meet with Urban Dynamics. Who do you meet with at Urban Dynamics?
Yanira Lopez.
Okay, is that person here? No. No. But there's a Yanira Lopez who works for you guys.
Yes,
and what does Yanira Lopez tell you?
She's gonna give me a job.
Give you a job or help you find a job?
Give me a job.
All right, except for rather than get you a job, they may have you pay them.
Exactly. They give me some kind of wage schedule program.
Okay, but what they're actually, according to, you signed a contract, right?
The contract, what they did is they brought a big folder with the W-2 form on top. I fill out the W-2 and then they start rushing me. Sign here, initial here, date here, sign here. And among the papers, there were some kind of tricky contract.
Tricky contract.
Exactly.
And what does a tricky contract say?
This was only for training. It's not for the job. They cannot guarantee a job.
What they were selling you is training in order to get a certificate.
That's what they say.
Okay, what do you guys do? Because this is not the first time you end up in front of me. Tell me what you guys do. You're color coordinated, though.
We're a training school. That means they come and they do training. After training, me and Mr. D, my partner, put them to work. You can't get a job if you're not compliant.
What does put them to work mean?
Meaning send them out for a job. And then sometimes we have our own contracts where we hire them within.
Okay, so what happens if somebody doesn't get a job?
That means they don't want a job.
What do you mean that means
it takes
they
a
don't
job
want
to get a job. They have to come in. We can't service them at a job if they at home.
Do you place every
in.
single person who goes through your training?
Almost. Our percentage is very high.
What's the percentage?
I got a 89% percentage from Workforce One.
Can I see what you're talking about? Do you have any proof of what you just said?
It's hanging in the office in my room. I didn't know I would need
What's
the percentage.
Workforce One?
Department of Labor.
Okay. You have so they rate you? They tell you what
because they send us vouchers, people with vouchers to do the training. After training, we put them to work. We send them the verification that they're working.
All right. Now, his complaint, if I understand your complaint, what you say is they snowed you. They tricked you. They told you, oh, we're going to get you a job. And then they made you pay. And if that's true, if you didn't even know you were going to do training, why would you think that you were going to pay somebody to get a job? Have you ever paid somebody to get a job anywhere else?
It was strange. I tried to check with some people, but they say in New York, in order to get a better thing, is you need to pay. Nothing is free here.
Nothing's free in New York,
Exactly.
so to get a job, you have to
Exactly.
pay? Who gave you that advice?
A broker, unfortunately.
A realtor? That's because a realtor wants to get paid.
Exactly, the same kind of people.
The realtor told you, it's New York,
Exactly.
everybody pays for everything?
Exactly.
Like, didn't that seem a little odd to you, if that's really what you thought was happening, that all they were going to do is place you and not train you? You know, first of all, let me just establish one thing. Do you have to have a certificate to work in security in New York?
Yes, ma'am.
So he couldn't just get a job,
Come
no matter
from
what.
Texas with whatever.
Not from Texas, not with whatever he had in
It has
Texas.
to
He's
be
got to
New
have a
York.
New York certificate to work in New York as security.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you found out that that's not true or what?
So when somebody goes to a training school like that, is there kind of an implicit guarantee that they're going to get a job?
There is no obligation, and it doesn't matter. You don't absolutely have a job just because you go to the training school.
You buying that, sir?
I totally agree. I don't think just because you go to a school it means you're going to get a job.
And you get the final word?
Absolutely. Nope. No guarantee on a job.
No guarantee at all?
Nope.
Going inside the courtroom.
Over the phone, they say I have to pay $85 to get there.
$85.
8 hours and
So
$16.
what your complaint is, yeah, I needed training, but I could have gotten that for $85 and not for what I paid them? Yeah, where'd you get that you could get that for $85?
I have heard this.
Out of another website?
Exactly.
Let me see. All right, and so he says that you guys, and this is, and incidentally, this is not your first time in front of me, right? No. This is your second time in front of me. This is not your first time being sued. You haven't been sued twice and coincidentally ended up on people's court twice, right? You guys get sued.
Yeah.
How many times do you guys get sued a year? I don't even know how to count it. I guess a year, would you say? I mean, I realize you do a lot of business. I'm just, you know.
About 10.
10 times a year. And how many clients would you say you have a year?
About 500.
500.
Probably more than that, because we see at least 50 a day.
Okay. All right. Now, he ended up paying $16.44 for training. But you ended up calling your credit card company because you put part of this on a credit card, and you got back $600.
Exactly.
Okay. So why are you suing for $16.44 if you already got $600 back?
I wanted 1,000, only 1,044. I don't want
Yeah,
the
I know. Well, that's
16.
not what you sued for. All right. So you're actually then, your lawsuit should be for $1,044.
Yes,
Now, did he get his training?
Yes,
Did
ma'am.
you get your training?
Not completed.
Why
I have
not?
his test scores. I have his signing sheets. All of that.
Can I see the test scores and the sign-in sheets? What didn't you complete? And why didn't you complete it?
They sent me before the time. They said they're gonna give me a job and then I will complete after.
Okay, so I'm sorry, do you have your certificates or you don't have your certificates?
They give me.
They gave you what, the 8 hour?
8 hours, 16 hours.
Okay, so is there some other certificate that
he didn't come back for them. They're right there.
He says he has them.
No, only 816. He didn't get the fire guard and the
I have the
speed
fire
cuffing.
guard.
First of all, I'm going to give you all of your certificates. Then I want to go over with you what the contract says, and then I want to hear your version of this. Let's look at the contract. The contract that you signed says, there's a one-page contract, correct?
That's it, yes.
And the one-page contract says, Urban Dynamics, in big print underlined, in bold. Urban Dynamics cannot guarantee what a client will earn upon entering the job market or what schedule the client will work. Urban Dynamics can only guarantee job placement assistance servicing. Obtaining the actual job is the client's responsibility. Okay? So what do you guys do if I've gone through your training and I want you to help me get a job? What if I keep going to interviews and I can't get a job? You keep doing it until I get a job? Until I get tired of you? Do you ever get tired of me or no?
In his case, we never saw him. He
You never saw him
He
yet.
never got that far.
He never
did the
even
training
came back.
and disappeared.
Tell me about that.
And I went back there. They say, you signed this, the contract.
And your answer to this, when they show this to you or when I ask you about this, your answer is they showed me a bunch of other papers and then they made me sign this without my reading it.
Exactly.
How does somebody make you sign a contract without you reading it?
They rushed me. I know.
So you didn't read your contract?
They didn't give me time. They give me time to
Then
fill out the
how did they not
W-2.
give you time? How did they not give you time?
Stand here, initial here, we're going to send you to training.
Okay,
Stand
when
here,
someone says
initial.
to me, sign here, I say, sure, give me a moment. And I read, especially when it's one page and a lot of it is in big print.
I know you all know, but I didn't know it that could happen here in the U.S. and somebody can
Okay,
get
but
away with that.
see, here's the thing, all right? I do get concerned when I hear multiple complaints. But I also understand that any company that deals with, 50 people a day is going to have multiple complaints. And I saw what you submitted to me. There's an actual website that called what is this website called? Ripoffs?
Exactly.
Yeah. And there are other people, not just him, complaining on the website. But I understand that if you deal with a lot of people, you could end up having an 89% approval rating, an 89% job placement rating, and that's a really good job placement rating, and then still have 10%, 11% of the people unhappy. Okay? So I have to decide. I can't just say, hey, this is the second time someone complains about you, give him back his money. I mean, that's not how it works. I got to look at what you did. And you're a big boy, and you have to put your big boy pants on. And when someone sits down, if you're going to protect me, and you're going to be my security, I need you to have a stronger backbone than a guy who doesn't read one page that's in big print. I need you to be stronger than that, because then you cannot protect me. Are you working now?
Yes, Your Honor.
You work in security?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where are you working?
SF, JFK Airport.
Okay, good. And how did you get that job?
By myself.
Good for you. Good for you. I can't. And first of all, you've already gotten $600. I'm surprised you guys aren't counterclaiming, and we're going to leave it at that. But based on what is in front of me, I cannot order them to return any of your money. My verdict is for the defendants.
Thank you.
Let's see what the plaintiff has to say about this coming out on the losing end of this case. Maybe you've learned a couple of lessons. Hey, right here's good. Right here's good. Okay. Turn, tell me, what's your feeling now coming out?
My goal was to expose them. I knew I couldn't win the case because I signed contract. But
You knew you weren't going to win, but you wanted to teach them a lesson. What were your motives here? What did you want to
I
teach?
tried to expose them because
As what?
as they do the scam. They rip people off, and that's not good. I saw all people, ladies, young.
Do you think you accomplished what you came in here to do?
Yes, yes. My goal was not to win. My goal was to expose them.
Okay. Good luck to you. Right down this way. Okay, so come on in here. This is the second time you've been in here in the People's Court, and you come out on the winning end of both cases. What's your reaction?
They signed the contract. They sat in the classes. It's like wearing merchandise and when they take it back to the store. You can't do that.
Is it true he can get that certificate for $35, the same one that's costing him thousands here at the company?
I don't know. It depends on after the training, what do they help them with? They can give you a piece of paper and leave you out there.
Okay. Harvey, what do you think?
So when you sign a contract like this, say you go to a school, they still have contracts, they still have disclaimers, and let me tell you, those disclaimers can be killers. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Shalane Baker. She says she hired the defendant to give her a Brazilian weave, which was supposed to look like her natural hair. She took a whole day off for the procedure, got home, brushed her hair, and it started falling out. She was quite embarrassed because her hair continued to fall out over the course of the day. The defendant refuses to do anything about it, and she is suing the unlicensed, unprofessional woman for the return of the $824 she paid her. This is the defendant, Rochelle Williams. She says she asked the plaintiff to show her exactly what she was talking about because hair falling out after being sewn in is impossible. For the next 3 days, they went back and forth, but the woman to this day hasn't shown her this so-called hair falling out. She thinks the lady's simply trying to scam a free hair weave, and she's not going to allow her to get away with it without a fight. She's accused of conducting a horrific hair weave.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you,
You're
Douglas.
welcome.
Okay. Is it Shalane?
Yes.
Shalane Baker?
Yes.
You are suing Rochelle Williams?
Yes.
For $824 in damages that you say you have sustained as a result of a bad Brazilian hair weave
Yes,
that she
ma'am.
did to you. Tell me what happened.
In the latter part of February, I met Miss Williams in a local eyebrow threading and eyelash place.
What's eyebrow threading?
You know, when the Indians do the eyebrow threading with the actual threading of a needle.
Can you do it if you're not an Indian?
No, the Indians do it. But a lot of people, you know, migrate there to get the fake eyelashes and the eyebrow threading.
Okay, so they actually take a thread, and then they sort of twirl it around your hair, and then
No,
they
no,
go
not the hair. In the eyebrows, they
well,
take it.
The eyebrows, yeah. All right,
Mhm.
and then they
pull the hair
tug
out.
it, and that it's like plucking your eyebrow.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So anyway, the subject of her doing hair came up. She said, I do weaves. I said, which is great. I said, okay, what kind? She said, I do this new weave that's called a Brazilian weave.
Now, what's a Brazilian weave versus a non-Brazilian weave?
Basically, there's different weavings out there. They have the Brazilian weave, they have interlock.
What's the differences between them?
The interlock is more so of a small braid that you latch on and you use a threading mechanism and you use a certain grade of hair and you lock it onto the hair, where the only way that you can get this hair off if you do it by cutting.
Okay, and the Brazilian?
The Brazilian is more so, it's more so a similar technique, and it has like a liquid that you use and you lock it onto the hair.
And then can you take it off?
Yeah, but you have to use like a lucence to take it off, like a...
Okay, so it locks onto the hair not by actual weaving, but by a liquid.
It's like a glue.
A special glue,
Like
I
a
guess.
special glue.
All right, so go on. So you wanted a Brazilian.
So we wanted. I
weave.
wanted the Brazilian weave. We further discussed how much it would cost, and I asked her how do you do it? She said, well, you can perm, you can wash, you can do everything with this weave in your hair. She said it will run you about $500, but if you want me to order the hair, it's $200 extra.
Wow.
I said, not a
How
problem.
long does this thing last? For
No,
$700, I want it to buy me dinner and...
That's not true, Your Honor.
How long is it supposed to last?
The Brazilian weave can last anywhere from 3 to 4 months.
You obviously liked the price.
Yeah, it was fine because I had made an appointment with another person to get it done anyway.
And it was...
But she was...
and the other person was how expensive?
She was $600.
Okay.
But when I had spoken to Rochelle, she seemed
Got it.
down
So
to
you
earth
make
and
the
cool.
appointment.
So I make.
What day do you go in?
I go to her March 3rd.
All right, and then of 2010.
Of 2010.
Okay, and then what happened?
She started doing it here maybe around 11 a.m. My best friend came within a half an hour later. Needless to say, we finished maybe 9:45.
At night?
At night.
Wow.
And she had told me that the process would only take 3 to 4 hours. The next morning I got home, that night I got home. The next morning I woke up and I proceeded to brush my hair. About 5 pieces came out. I immediately called her and I said, hey, Miss Roche, the pieces of the hair is coming out. She said, okay, no problem. You coming to get your eyelashes done, and I'll fix it for you. I said, no problem. I'll be there around 3:30. But during the course of the day, me at the gym or me just doing my normal routine, touched it, more pieces came out. Brushed it, more pieces came out. So at this point, it's like, I don't want to go back to you to get it done because you apparently don't know what you're doing. Okay. So I gave her a call. She didn't answer. Text her because I know she can see the text messages, but she's not going to answer my call, but I know she's seen the text message. Text her numerous times. Called her numerous times, had my best friend call her and text her. My best friend can state to you what she said to her when she called her.
She would not answer your calls?
She didn't
Were
answer
you psycho calling though?
No.
How many times did she call you? How many times did she call? Nothing like an irate customer. Go ahead.
Your Honor. Your
I
Honor.
think, look at me in the eye. Were you psycho calling her?
Honor.
Well, you know what? I will be honest.
How many times? That wasn't once. Come on. How many times?
It was not her calling. She had her friend calling, constantly texting, and everything like that. But I would like to.
Oh, so she wasn't psycho calling, her friend was.
Her friend was texting me.
How many times did she?
Offer her number.
Okay, how many times did the friend? Either way, how many texts did you receive from that phone?
Oh man, it was crazy. She wouldn't even give me a chance to call back.
3, 10, 400?
No, like almost like 9 texts back to back.
Okay.
I want to back it up though to the situation.
Do you need a license to do this kind of stuff or no?
No, I do braiding. This is what I do. I do braiding.
No, my question is, do people need a license to do this?
No, not to do braiding.
Okay.
Not to do braiding.
What about to do weaves?
To do weaves? I mean, if you're putting a chemical or something like that.
You are though, right?
No, I never used a chemical or anything in her hair. It was just thread and weaving. No, we never used any of that.
I thought I asked you specifically how you do a Brazilian weave.
It wasn't a Brazilian weave that got done. It was an interlock weave with the threading. It's a threading, like I explained to you earlier. It was a threading.
All right, so you never did a Brazilian weave?
No, we never did. We never got to a Brazilian weave.
Are you under the impression she did a Brazilian weave?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She says that her hair was falling out the next day, and apparently she or both of them were psycho calling you. Do you think they're making it up, that the hair wasn't falling out?
My whole thing, I felt that they were making it up. Because as I got finished, I combed this hair out. We tested it, everything. She even said, ow, ow, like this hair is tight. I'm, basically not complaining in a bad way, but saying it's good, it's good.
Oh, so she was happy when she left.
She was happy, no
Well, then
complaints.
why would she be unhappy the next day?
This is what I'm saying. Your Honor, this is how it happened. In the morning, I got a call from her. She said, I get off at 3 o'clock. I said, please, as soon as you get off of work, give me a call. She calls me at 2 o'clock. She calls me at 2 o'clock. I said, sweetie, I just got back. I have some food in the car. I need to go drop this food off at home. I said, now at 3 o'clock, you can give me a call. In between 2 and 3 o'clock, I had the text. It was just text crazy.
Do you have the text with you?
I have,
Or did you erase them already?
No, it cleared out.
It cleared out? What did they say, more or less?
Basically, we're not saying you did a bad job.
Oh,
but we
you don't
want
have that?
half of our money.
Oh my gosh, that would be great. Great text to keep.
We
you
want
couldn't
half.
get your hands on them saying we're not saying you did it bad, because I got news for you. Are you saying she did a bad job?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so that would be awesome. I would love to see that.
My personal
Well, I know you got
assistant.
some friends here who will say, I understand that, but that's not the same as seeing the text. She'd be dead if I saw that text.
Okay, well.
All right, go on.
She said basically,
Let me see the text. You guys save text? Let me see the text. So, she then decides, obviously between 2 and 3, she decides she's not going back to you at 3 o'clock to get anything done.
She says, I would like to have half of my money back.
Half my money back.
I said, okay, well, can you come, please, and let me see what's going on with your hairstyle? I would like to see what's going on to find out, because this type of style, you have to use a scissor or a blade for it to come out. You have to actually cut this out because it's knotted into the weave, into the natural hair, into the scalp. She refused. She said, I'm not coming. Actually, her friend calls back again. She's not coming. She wants a $250. Then the next call was, we want our $500. Matter of fact, we're taking you to court.
Tell me how it was falling out. How much of it fell out?
I have the actual evidence of the hair. Like she
let's
said,
see it.
like she said, it would have to take a blade or a scissors to cut the thread, and you can clearly see none of the thread is cut on the pieces of the hair.
Okay.
You can see it's still sewn in on the hair that had to slip out.
Wait, all that big chunk of hair fell out?
Yes.
These are individual pieces that she cut the tracks in pieces to put them onto the hair.
And you can see the
we
thread is
also
still
have
in
the
there.
printout from how the Brazilian weaves are done. And the text messages that I sent her, I also have those also.
It sounds like she didn't get a Brazilian weave in the end. But
I don't know what kind of weave it was, but it wasn't what I wanted.
Okay. Well, all that hair fell out?
All of it fell out. It was about a little section that she did do with the net.
But did you go somewhere else and have it redone?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the hair that came out of your head after having it redone? Or is that the hair that you picked up off the floor?
Before, when she did it.
So this is not after you had it redone, you asked that lady, whoever had it redone, to give you all that hair.
No.
You're saying that this actually fell out of your hair?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you ended up paying $200 for the hair, right?
Yes,
And then brought it to her and paid $500 to her.
Yes, ma'am.
You're suing for the $500 that you paid her, the $150 to have your hair redone, and $174 to buy new hair. Now, wouldn't you then, in essence, you want everything you paid her plus everything you paid the other person, that would give you a brand new weave for free when everybody else has to pay for theirs? Like, in other words, isn't it one or the other? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. You understand you were a little greedy there?
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Is the beauty salon automatically responsible if her hair starts falling out the day after she goes to the salon?
Yes, I think
Because?
because it's the day after.
It's just too close in time.
It's too close in time.
What do you,
She could have been ill. Something else could have happened. That's not fair to
Yeah, but what are the chances that she goes to the beauty salon and then she's bald as an eagle?
I believe with this lady that,
All right,
that
I'll
the
go with
beauty
the girl.
salon.
Where'd you go with the girl? Come on, you lost, dude. Going inside the courtroom.
She has handed me a bunch of the texts. I want to see what's in there. Everything is, you botched this job you did to my hair, track is falling out every second. And can I see the pictures of the hair?
That was what was left the end of that week before I got it redone.
You have 3 friends here in order to, anybody moral support or everybody's a witness?
No.
Okay,
Two that
let's
are
hear it.
witness, my personal assistant here, and this is my sister that was there that night.
Okay.
And witnessed the calls.
Let's have the first person. You're the personal assistant?
Personal assistant that personally talked to her friend.
All right. These are, did you see the pictures or you didn't see the pictures?
No.
I want you to be able to see the pictures. Okay. How did you get involved in this case?
Hello, my name is Ayana Lewis, and I'm Roche's personal assistant, as you heard. Okay, I was there with my baby, actually, Brianna Lewis, and as I came in, I seen her was doing the interlock weave in, but so yeah, it was neatly, it was right, it looked actually natural.
How do you know for a fact it didn't fall out the next day?
Because she actually yanked on it at the end of it, like when she finished the hair, she yanked on it. The girl
So
was
what,
like,
don't you think this is a rather elaborate scheme, though? Because the
seems-
question is not the job. According to you, and according to you, you admit you were happy that night. You were mad it took so long. But the problem is the next day. It's not that night. All right. Here's an affidavit from the person who redid her hair, who says that she came in on March 8th. She had 5 pieces of weave left on the right side of her head, which was sewed on a hairnet. As I further looked at her hair, some pieces were damaged due to the tracks she previously had slipped out pulled her hair. Also, I can tell that whoever did this Brazilian weave didn't know what they were doing. In conclusion, I redid her hair and gave her a treatment to fix the damaged spots and sewed in the individual tracks in her hair, which cost $150. $174 is what you paid to buy new hair for this person to fix it. May I see the receipt for $174?
I have my bank statement.
Okay.
Because I used my card.
Yep, we're done. Here's what's going to happen. You essentially have a verbal contract with each other. When you go to a salon, your verbal contract is, I'm going to pay you $500, you're going to do a job. You claim it wasn't a Brazilian weave. She claims it's the only thing you ever talked about was a Brazilian weave, that she never proved something else. I'm worried that you might be saying that because you need a license to do the one that you were selling to her. I don't really, I'm not the New York authorities. It hurts your case if you're doing something that you're not certified to do, licensed to do. It hurts your case. But I'm more about this. Did the hair fall out or didn't it? That's what I need to figure out, did the hair fall out or didn't it? Because she wasn't all about, let me see your license beforehand, right?
Yes.
She was like, woohoo, I'm saving $100.
I love your hair,
That's
yeah.
it, stop. I'm always marveled by how plaintiffs then all of a sudden, it's an unlicensed contractor. Can you imagine that? Well, yeah, because it's half the price of the one who was licensed, So I don't hear that as much as I hear, hey, it fell out. That's a simple breach of contract case. I've got the hair in the courtroom. I've got her 5,000 texts to you saying it's falling out. Call me, I want my money back. I have you claiming it wasn't falling out. It's just some elaborate scheme. It doesn't make sense. What you're saying doesn't make any sense. Why would somebody have this elaborate scheme if it was so perfect and it didn't have a problem? What does she do? Bribe somebody into writing the letter, pull her own hair out to bring it to court, and then take pictures of her bald head right afterwards? Yeah, okay, no. You're all living in a fantasy world, okay? But you don't get double that. You don't get everything you paid her and then what you had to pay to fix it. Your damages, okay, are what you had to pay to get the benefit of your bargain. And what you had to pay, you didn't have to pay somebody $600 to do it. You had to pay somebody $150 to fix it and $174 to buy the new hair. So I'm going to order her to repay to you $324, which will then make you whole after the damage that you say you have sustained, which I find that you did sustain. Okay? Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
All right, so let's see what happens when the defendant comes out in the hallway here. Step in. The judge rules that if you would stand right next to her, all you, right in the line there. Yeah, the hair fell out.
Yeah, so she claims, but I think she waited
pulls it out.
I think she waited a couple of days and she start cutting it with a friend to go to the new hair salon to tell the beautician that look what this person
Brazilian when it was interlock. So your hair came out from an interlock, not a Brazilian. That's not what you said that you was getting. So get it right, you know?
Yeah, get it right. But the hair fell out. Well, what kind of hair is that?
Well, this is my new wig piece, and it looks kind of Jamaican, but it is what it is. That's me, Coco.
Glamour Girls
Glamour Girls TV in the building.
Okay, all right.
Yes, girl.
All right, right around the corner, Glamour Girls. All right. All right, so step on in here. Are you satisfied how this case comes out?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Why did you make up this big elaborate scheme to pretend your hair fell out, like they said?
It wasn't made up. She don't know what she's doing. She has no license. If you see her and she says she does hair, run. Don't trust her.
Well, you don't need a license to do just an interlock.
You need a license to practice cosmetology. Cosmetology is doing hair. Thank
Harvey?
you.
Okay, Kurt, unless the salon clearly makes it evident to the customer that there are risks associated with a procedure, the salon is going to be responsible for the consequences. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Don Fritz Florent. He says the defendant pulled up alongside him in his car, and when the light turned green, the defendant turned right into him and hit his car. He called the cops. They filled out a report, and he can't seem to get the defendant to pay for his damages, so he's suing for $748.92, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Howard Morris. He says the plaintiff drives up to him one night, rolls down his window and says, "Our cars hit one another." He was like, "Huh?" All he was doing was waiting at a light, and next thing he knows, he's been asked to pony up $200 in cash on the spot. He refused because this is a scam, man, and he's not going to be played by anyone. He's accused of being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been affirmed, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Don Fritz Florence.
Right.
You are suing Howard Morris for $748.92 in damages to your car that you say happened as a result of his negligent driving.
Right.
Tell me what happened.
Okay, on December 7, 2011, I was on Gray Rock and Trestle Boulevard. I was at a red light, the right-hand lane.
Okay, come on over here. Does this look right, this sketch here?
Yes, that's right, that's correct.
Okay, why don't you come over here, pick a car you want to be, and pick a car you want him to be, and show me with the cars how it happened. You're in the right turn lane.
Right. And he was over here. Light turned green. I'm turning right like this, but at the same time, I'm going like this, and he's like this too also. I'm turning right, and he's going like that also in my car.
Oh, he's turning right.
Right. So I just stopped too also. I got out of my car, and I was like, "Yo, hit my car." And he was like, "What?"
Are the cars still touching or no? Because it was a side swipe and then...
Well, it was touching like a little bit at that point. It was
really?
Like this. Yes, it was still touching a little bit.
And he's saying what? What?
Yeah, so he was
and
like...
And your cars are touching?
Right. And then so I said, "He hit my car."
And he says?
And then he looking at me like I'm speaking like a different language. He was like, "What are you talking about?" So I said, "You know what, man? Let's just go over here to the mall, and then let's just exchange papers."
Okay, go ahead and go back to the podium. All right, and so then what happened?
And then so I said, "Hit my car, so what are we gonna do about this thing too also?" And then he said, "Look at it, man, it's only a scratch." And then so he says, "Listen, if you call the police and file a complaint with your insurance company, your insurance will go up and your car value will go down." So I said, "Man, this guy must be right." So I said, "Oh, yeah." So I said, "Okay, well, I'll tell you what then. Give me $200 US cash and I'll get it fixed myself." And then he was like, "What? Nah, man, you crazy." No. So I said, "Yeah, but come on, it's a scratch on my car." And he says,
"Do you have a picture of the scratch?"
"Yes, I do, yes."
Let me see.
All right.
What year is your car?
It's an 07 Nissan Maxima. It's all black.
What color is his car?
Black.
When did you take the picture?
The same day that it happened, the same night.
I know because there's rain on it.
Right, it was raining that
And
time.
no one
it was
would
very dark.
choose to take a picture on a day when there's rain unless it was the same day.
That's in the garage. I took the pictures in the garage. And the last picture is his car, just in case if he wants to go home and make it worse than what it is now.
Wait, the last picture is his car?
Right, it's the smallest, it's a side scratch on his right.
Okay, so go on.
And then so I said, okay, so what are we gonna do about this stuff too also? And then he was like, look at it, it's only a scratch. So I called the police, made a report, and then he says, and then he was like, okay, listen, man, okay? You have no idea what you're doing. Okay, your insurance will go up and your car value will go down. So I know, it's the first time they were also meeting too also, but listen, I got some game tickets, okay?
Some what?
Some game tickets.
Game tickets?
Yeah, it's like some game tickets to some kind of sports events or whatever.
Okay.
He says, listen, man, I get some game tickets, you know, I said, how much do you need? I can get it for you. And I was like, game tickets? Nah, man, I'm doing game tickets, man. And then so he was like, come on, man, but I can get it for you, no cost to me. Come on, what's up? And he was like, no, I don't want to do it like that. And then so he just started going off, started yelling and saying, man, you don't know what you're doing. I mean, this is crazy. It's only a scratch. Come on, man. And then so I refused his offer. And then he says, well, you know what then? Well, then guess what now? Because, you know, I have connections to the police department.
I have what?
Connections to the police department.
Okay.
And then so I just ignored what he was saying.
So the police come.
Police come.
The police end up writing a report, and the police officer does not give anyone a ticket, correct?
No.
Okay, I want you to hold on 1 second. I want you to please come over, sir, Mr. Morris, to the map and show me.
Okay, I was waiting in this intersection right over here at the light. The plaintiff came from my right, and I heard some kind of a noise. I couldn't tell what it was, but the next thing maybe we're a little closer. I don't know how close we were. But the next thing I heard was his window coming down, saying that we touched. And
Well, how did the accident happen? You don't know how the accident
I didn't hear it. It was raining. I didn't even hear anything. He rolled down the window. Didn't even hear it. Got out of my car.
When he says that to you, where are your two cars?
We're very close. We're close.
But you're there where you placed them?
Yeah, we're
He hasn't made a right. You haven't made a right.
Absolutely not. I mean, no rights, no turns, no nothing. As far as I never saw him until his window went down. I just heard a noise. I'm looking forward.
Do you have pictures of the damage to your car?
No, but I have.
He does.
I have report. I mean, I got out. I looked at the damage.
Wait, what report?
I have some damage on my car.
Right, I know. Do you have pictures of it?
No, but I have an estimate on it. I didn't take
What is the
pictures of it.
estimate for the damage to your car?
Yes, well, I got out of the car and
What is the estimate for the damage to your car? How much is it?
Approximately $1,200.
$1,200.
Right.
And you did not feel $1,200 to your car and $700 to his car. You did not feel it.
Absolutely not. And the reason for that was basically, I don't know, I haven't seen the picture. There was no damage to it. I mean, I couldn't see one mark on his car.
You see damage to that car in these pictures, right? That's not a little bit of damage. I mean, it's not, it's not, it's $700 worth of body work.
This wasn't this bad that night.
What do you think? You think he made it worse for his car to frame you?
I'm telling you that I promise you, and I just took an oath that
This is the damage. Yeah, I know, honey. Everybody in front of me takes an oath.
Okay.
This is not a novel thing for me. I have years of oath takers, okay? I've been in the system a good 30 years of oath taking left and right.
Okay.
All right, this is your car.
Right.
Okay, and that's the damage to your car.
Correct.
I can see damage to your car.
Lots of it.
Okay. All right. Okay, go ahead and go back to the podium. Okay, so go ahead.
He says, give me $200 cash, we'll call it a day. I didn't feel I did anything wrong. I wanted to go, but he said, all right, we'll pull to the side. I don't know what he's talking about, connections to the police department.
Did you ever say that to him?
Never. I never said anything about it. I don't know what connections would do for the police department to come anyway. It's no, what's anybody, what, yeah, I didn't say anything like that. Pulled to the side. He wanted to get some money from me.
Did you offer him game tickets?
I said to him, I was in a rush to leave, so I'm going to be honest with you. I said to him, I want to leave. Can I help you out with something in the future? It doesn't mean I did anything wrong. I just wanted out of there. I did not want to stay there.
So you said to him what?
Because I was missing an appointment, and that's it. He wanted the $200. I refused to give it to him. The policeman came.
Wait, before the policeman came, did you offer him tickets?
No, I didn't offer him tickets.
Oh, that's what I just asked you. Did you offer him game tickets?
I didn't offer him. I mentioned to him, is he a sports fan? And I just was trying to make light of it. I really wanted to just leave.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you ask him, do you like sports, or did you offer him game tickets? Stop thinking about how it will affect the case. I just want to know what was said.
I honestly don't remember.
You don't remember?
No, I don't remember. I wasn't bribing him in any way. I did nothing
It's not a
wrong.
bribe. It's an offer of settlement. There's nothing wrong with it. Did you offer him game tickets?
No, I didn't offer him game tickets.
Okay. All right. Now, apparently you taped him.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You now know that he taped you.
No, I had no idea that he was taping me.
No, I know at the time you had no idea. But how did you learn that he had taped you?
From some kind of a note that he'd sent me.
What is it you're looking at now, the complaint?
Yes.
Okay, so he actually mentions that he taped you. Now, you have an objection to my listening to the tape?
Yes.
Okay, and tell me what that objection is.
I talked to an attorney about it, and he said that that Connecticut, you have to have consent.
Okay, that is incorrect. What Connecticut does is it requires two-party consent for phone conversations, but requires one-party consent for anything else, essentially. So when you're face-to-face, one-party consent is sufficient. I will send this home, with you. So I don't know who you talk to, but in any event, let's see what it is. Because if it's just you offering to settle a case, I don't know why you think that's so damning. That could just be you trying to move it along and settle it. So let's hear the tape.
Also, man, I'm calling you tomorrow.
I'll be honest with you. You're a man of principle. I am too. I don't like being threatened, and to be honest with you.
I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you. If I call you tomorrow, then you're like, who this is?
I'll know who you are.
I will find a way to contact with
Wait a second. I'm not promising you I'm paying you. I'm promising you I'm going to talk to my insurance company. And to be honest with you, I have some connections to the police department too. This is a little nothing that we should be able to work out. And the only reason I said that is I felt bad you had a problem, so I get tickets for certain games. I said to myself, well, you know what? I wanted to go to the doctor, so I said maybe I'll hook you up with something.
Trying to give me some game tickets? I don't want game tickets. I want to do it legal way.
I got it. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'm gonna call you tomorrow.
So what happened to I never offered him game tickets? It sounds like he did.
And welcome back to the People's Court, Harvey Levin. So this defendant is saying, yeah, I'll give you sporting event tickets. And he's saying, I only said that so I could get out of there. I wasn't really confessing. Was he confessing?
Yes, he was. He was guilty as charged.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know, not necessarily. He might have just had something to do and didn't want to be bothered.
So it's just, I want to give you sporting event tickets to some stranger that he's never met before, who's in an accident with
To
him.
get rid of the problem that obviously there was an accident, and here, take these. If it's my fault, this'll...
Okay, so he's saying, if it's my fault. You buying that?
The person should have never took the tickets in the first place if they're going to turn around and be like, I want my money.
But do you think he's confessing guilt by...
Yes, I think he is confessing he's guilty. Otherwise, he wouldn't have tried to buy his way out of it with tickets.
That's what I'm thinking, going inside the courtroom.
Okay, so you did offer him game tickets, right?
I don't remember.
But you remember now that you heard yourself?
I just heard it, but like I said, when you're being threatened, you could say a lot of different things.
The fact that you offered him game tickets is not so bad. You could offer somebody to settle something because you want to get rid of it. Offers of settlement are not inculpatory. There's nothing wrong with that. And even jawing that I know people in the police, you're smack talking, so what? That doesn't mean the accident's your fault. But lying about the two things does make me nervous because this whole case rests on which of the two of you are at fault, which of the two of you are telling me how it happened. But I'll tell you the one single thing that has bothered me more than anything else. I didn't know I got hit. I have been in numerous accidents, big and small. You know when your car hits another car. There's no not knowing your car hit another car. There's just no not knowing it. Anytime a litigant walks into court and says, I didn't even know my car got hit, and then I see this kind of damage and that kind of damage on your car, how could you not know and feel that bump? Based on the totality of what I heard, I find in favor of the plaintiff in this case in the amount of the $748.92.
Thank you.
Plaintiff has just won this judgment for every cent he sued for, and the defendant's right here next to me. What's your reaction to the outcome here?
It wasn't the correct verdict. I know it. I didn't feel it because it was raining.
Maybe there was an accident that caused that much damage. Maybe there was.
If the cause had touched, it was raining and pouring, and that was an explanation for me not hearing it. It was extremely slight. As far as the game tickets and as far as the police department, He was threatening me. I said things at the time
that you can't remember, later on.
So I absolutely 100% never lied. She based a verdict on me lying.
Well, you didn't feel the accident. You didn't remember what you said. It's like you weren't even there.
I was there. I didn't feel the accident, and I didn't lie.
All right. Right down this way, okay? Follow him right down that way. All right, so come on in here. Did you feel the accident?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Well, you had the tape to remind you of the conversation, in all fairness. I mean, you could review that tape, and you knew every detail of it, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you accept his explanation that he couldn't really recall what he said in the heat of the moment?
Well, actually, he was just lying all the way through. If I haven't had a tape to prove it, then, I don't know what would have happened. But he was just lying all the way through, and the tape just surprised him.
Mm-hmm. All right. Harvey, what do you think?
Okay, this is a common sense case. People who get in an accident feel the contact, period. The judge is allowed to use common sense to crack the case. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Rob Luck. He says he's suing his very good friend because the guy has his New York Yankees signed Mariano Rivera baseball and won't give it back. That's right, they've been friends for over 12 years, and it's all come down to this, a lawsuit in front of the Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian of the People's Court. He's suing for $399, the ball's current value. This is the defendant, Van Cerritos. He says he is sure the plaintiff is going to strike out on this lawsuit because the ball's his. He's keeping it and he's not paying a penny for it. The plaintiff is way off base on this one. And after this case is over, everyone who sees it is going to agree. He's accused of running afoul on a friend.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay. Rob Luke, you are suing your good friend, Van Cerritos?
Correct.
For $399, the value of a signed baseball that you believe should be rightfully yours. What's going on?
All right. That day we...
That day when?
On August of 1999. Forgot
99?
the exact... Yeah, 99. That's how long this has been going on.
August 13th of 1999.
It was Friday the 13th.
This is already not starting well. Okay.
So, Van invited me to go to Yankee Stadium in a suite.
Okay.
And in the suite, there was a little party going on. And we were having a little
Van
fun.
had a suite?
I had a suite with my company.
Okay.
I had people there.
So I was actually a potential customer of Van's.
Okay.
So
that ever pan out?
No.
Or he just sued you? Okay. Go ahead.
So they had a trivia contest going on in the suite.
Okay.
So during this trivia contest, I was answering a few of the questions and getting some right.
And the trivia questions were all about?
All about the Yankees, and I know the Yankees very well. And Van claims to know the Yankees well, but he didn't know any answers.
Claims to know the Yankees.
So I answered a question, and the answer was Andy Pettitte, and they gave me an Andy Pettitte signed ball, and they said to me, "You're done. You can't answer any more questions."
Okay.
So another question comes up, and no one knows the answer to it, and Van...
What was the question?
I forgot the exact question.
Because it was 1999.
Because it was 1999,
okay.
and I'm a little bit older now, so I forget a few things.
Uh-huh.
So Van, does his Rodney Dangerfield look to me, come on. So I give him the answer. It's Mariano Rivera.
The answer was Mariano Rivera.
Right.
Okay.
So Van raises his hand. It's Mariano Rivera. They give him a Mariano ball.
Ah.
So I said, I want the Mariano ball. Here, you take Pettitte, give me Mariano.
And why did you say that to him?
He didn't know the answer.
Okay.
I knew the answer. He didn't.
Okay.
He didn't raise his hand. He didn't know the answer. And this has been going on. This is the argument. That's why we're in front of you, Judge.
Okay. Now you two have stayed friends throughout all these years.
Yeah, of course. We're not. A ball's
but
not.
But you want the ball.
I want the ball.
Well, no, the ball isn't between you two. The ball's right now. Did anybody bring the ball to court?
I put the ball right here.
Wow.
And here's the Pettitte ball that was offered to him.
I don't want to see. No, that's not true.
See that? That's my point, Judge.
That is. It's just that is. I said that as a joke because I am a big Mariano Rivera fan. And as a matter of fact, when my man started that kangaroo court in the locker rooms,
right? Mm-hmm.
I was invited over to the dugout to give him a gavel and a robe, which he used.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, it's so awesome. I
That's
wish I had the
great.
picture. Oh, go to
Yeah.
peoplescourt.com. You'll see the pictures. They'll all be there and in my living room.
See, the ticket's on the side, the original ticket.
I'm going to do a
But
little
see,
shell game and see if they
So like a good friend that I am, I gave him the answer.
You gave him the answer, and did you say anything before you gave him the answer?
No, there was no time. He just...
Okay, so you gave him the answer, and then you feel that he should now...
Absolutely.
Okay.
If it was
you
the
feel
other
that
way
I
around,
should do this.
Honestly,
That's what you want
honestly,
me to do. Now
both
you know.
balls-
Oh, now.
both balls should be
now.
mine.
Hold on. Now you
Both
just want
balls
me to
should
do
be mine,
this.
But I'm doing the right thing and saying, here's your consolation
See, that's
prize.
typical Rob.
That's so big of you.
That's typical Rob.
You tell me your side.
All right, my side, very, very simple. I invite him as a guest, as a friend of mine. He comes in.
That'll show you.
Right, yeah. He answered like 3-4 questions. The arbitrator there said, "You're done. You can't." So he's eliminated from the questions anymore. He's done.
So
from
he
the
may know the
contest.
Yankees, but
Now
he
it's an
doesn't know how to
arbitrator.
play trivia.
Yeah, he's done.
You had your bets for the item you want. You got to sort of wonder what the answers are going to be.
The question was a simple question. He fails to remember. I remember.
It's not an arbitration.
Hold on, sir. Hold on. It's not your turn now. Go ahead.
The question was, who was the setup man for John Wetland in '96?
Why do you keep looking at Douglas?
I have no idea.
I went to say Mariano Rivera. Of course, Rob, being the narcissist that he is, yells right away, "Rivera."
To you?
To me. So,
Within earshot of everybody, or
he's
did he
right,
whisper it?
No, he's right next to me.
No, but I'm saying, like, only you could hear it, or everybody could hear it. Like, in other words, it was intended for you.
Yeah. Which I'm not denying that. That's
Right.
not a big deal. I raised my hand. He's eliminated from the contest. The lady says, "Guy in the blue shirt. What's the answer?" I said, "Rivera. You win the prize." Throws me the ball. It's my ball. Rob right away goes, "Here you go. Give me the ball." I said,
Wait,
"What?"
right. And you're sweet?
In
He
my
says
suite,
that?
as
And
a
you're
guest.
sweet as your guest?
Right.
At the moment, he says it. Right away.
At the moment, here's the petted ball, give him the Mariano boss. Why would I do that? I answered the question. You were eliminated from it. That's not right.
Was he really mad, or was he laughing?
Well, that's Rob. Rob will argue about just arguing for the sake of arguing. He will probably argue with something about you doing something today.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's just Rob. He argued, that, listen, we've got to get there in a certain time on the train. It's just the way Rob is.
Okay.
I love him, but he argues just for the sake of arguing.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Okay.
That being said, it's been going on for 13 years.
Okay.
I'll take it a step further. I brought my wife here because in 2001, we have a Subway Series party, okay? Mets versus Yankees. Our firstborn was a year old. We're all watching the game, right? And now you're gonna say,
This is not going to be good.
and Rob's gone for a little bit. My wife went upstairs to go check on the baby. Upon checking on the baby, looks and sees Rob in my bedroom where the ball was. Now, I'm not accusing him of taking anything, but what's he doing in my master bedroom during the Yankee World Series game? Which means I took the ball away, and I took it 26.5 miles to my office now because I don't trust him because he's always in my house. He might steal the ball.
Are you kidding me? The guy was in your master bed? Come on up, honey.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So does this plaintiff have any right to this ball?
I don't believe he did because he gave the defendant the answer. And if he really wanted to, he could have said the answer.
Well, it's a little more complicated, but the plaintiff didn't have to give him the answer for sure.
Nobody forced him to give the other person the answer.
Is it sour grapes?
Yes.
Does he have any leg to stand on?
No.
We will find out, but I think you're right, going inside the courtroom.
What did you see?
I came up to check the baby. She was sleeping. We had some friends over, and Rob was talking a little bit about the ball again. I'm so tired of the ball. I've been best friends with his wife since high school. We introduced them. So we just wanted to stop with the ball. So he was talking about the ball, how it's his ball. And then he excused himself upstairs. He said, I'm going to go use the bathroom. Baby starts crying on the monitor. I go up to check the baby. I said,
The baby's crying because he's in the room. Were you in their bedroom?
No, the baby was next door in her room.
The baby was next door in her room.
Right, but the light's on in the room now, so I'm like, who's in the room? It was a good group of friends. And so I went in the room and I saw Rob. He's all nervous. He's looking around. He's reaching for the ball. I said, what's up, Rob?
Reaching for the ball?
The ball's up on the dresser. I said, what are you doing, Rob? What's going on? And he's like, nothing. I'm warm. I was going to get a T-shirt, and I don't know. And then he said, and he went downstairs. So,
what were you doing in their bedroom?
I don't recall this whole thing.
He doesn't recall this. He doesn't recall the questions.
He kept saying that he's got older. He forgot. Maybe you forgot.
Yeah.
Seriously, how do you not recall getting caught in the bedroom? And I'm sure, because I can tell how the two of you get along, that I'm sure you ribbed him nonstop, but the ball's no longer in my room. Now it's in my office. How are you going to get into my office? I'm sure that you've given him grief.
Absolutely.
So you know about why he moved it to his office, so why are you saying you don't remember being in his bedroom?
I don't know about why he moved it to his office. He has a whole showcase. He has a bunch of things in his office. Why not that ball also? Has nothing to do with
your
me
wife?
being in the room. She's home with sick kids, unfortunately.
How convenient.
No, it breaks my heart. It's really, I don't want it to cause a problem between his wife and I.
See, what happens is
that does not deny the fact that he did not know the answer. He solicited it from me. I gave it to him.
He solicited it from you, or you unsolicited and tossed it out?
He was eliminated from the
No,
contest.
absolutely. First of all, he said I yelled the answer. But you said, how did I yell it if no one else heard?
I have a question for you.
And it's not an arbitrator that was asking the questions.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yes.
First of all, what effect, if any, do you think the passage of 13 years has on your case?
0.
Well, strike one. That's your first answer that's wrong in the trivia contest that is my courtroom. Okay? Because there's something called a statute of limitations, and it prevents you from coming to court 13 years later. So you may hold a grudge and want an answer, and it may plague you for 13 years, but everybody's got to go to court in a succinct amount of time so that people don't say things like, it's been too long, I don't remember, right? That's why the law, and if, I'm sorry, did I breathe and give you the impression I was done speaking?
No.
Okay. That's why the law, in its infinite wisdom, has a cap, a period of time, a certain number of years for different kinds of cases for you to bring it so that you can bring it, it'll be done, and it'll be over and buried before people lose documents, lose memory, et cetera, et cetera. But I want to put that to a side because the last thing that I want to do is not actually, on the merits, adjudicate this one. I really want to adjudicate this one because you guys are apparently still good friends.
Right.
And you guys are apparently going to continue to be in each other's grill. And you guys are apparently watching each other's kids grow.
Correct.
And you guys are apparently spending a lot of time together. So I want there to be peace. I want there to be peace for the two of you.
That's why we're here, Your
but
Honor.
mostly, I want there to be peace for you and your absent Conrad. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Let me explain what this is. What this really is, and the only thing it could be, is a breach of contract case. You feel that somehow there is some unwritten agreement between the two of you that since you gave him the answer, he owes it to you, okay? A court of law can only find that, and frankly, let me just rephrase it, because I don't want you to think that it's just a legal technicality. There is the law, and there's also morality. And in this case, morality and the law are the same thing. So there's no distinction. For you to be right, that this is your ball, what you gave him, which is your premise, I gave you this, so you owe me this. What you gave him has to have had a string attached that he knew about. So in other words, if you whisper to him, psst, I'll give you the answer, but if I do, you get that ball, and you and I have to switch. You get the Pettit ball, I get the Mariano ball. Deal? And he says, deal. Okay, Mariano. Mariano! And that's what would give you a right to the Mariano ball. If all you do is tell a friend, and no less a friend who invited you, that's the only reason you were there to win the Pettit ball, okay, to the suite, to watch the game to begin with. Mariano, why would anybody with connected brain cells think that this was anything other than a friend just tossing out the answer to a friend? How can you then think that there is some string attached and create this obligation that there is zero evidence of at the time that you threw out the answer? Whether you threw it out, Mariano, or whether you threw it out, Mariano, it doesn't matter. Because you are claiming righteousness based on an obligation that you created after the fact because you now want a different ball. And you're not right.
At the time, there would have been no second ball.
That's right, sweetheart. There would have been no second ball. Which ball? Pick which hand.
Oh, that's not fair.
Go ahead.
That hand.
What a coincidence happens to be the pettit ball. Make sure, because my eyesight's not so good. Okay? You are dead wrong. Your friend is right. Okay? You are dead wrong about this. You cannot come into court and sue, much less 13 years later, on an obligation that didn't exist at the time that you spent whatever you spent. And in your case, the spending is speaking the words of the baseball player. There was no string attached. You cannot now attach a string. Verdict for the defendants. Good luck, guys.
All right, guys. What do I do?
All right, so you got your Andy Pettit ball there. Okay, that's not bad. How do you feel about that?
Well,
get Andy Pettit. Think of Pettit now.
I think the judge was a little rude and a little in his, on his side from the very beginning. I guess she doesn't understand what, French is. She knows and the right thing to do.
I think she does.
And if Mariano, if you're listening, I'm a big fan. Please send the ball.
Really? He set the career record for saves, right?
That's
How
right.
many
He's
was
the last to wear 42.
How many was that? 602. Who did he pass?
Guy from Houston.
Trevor Hoffman.
Yeah, Hoffman.
Right, that's right. Okay, how many does he have in the postseason? He has that record too. How many?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
42.
Now.
Okay, head right down this way. All right. How you doing? Good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy with your Mariano ball there?
I am very happy. I'm glad that finally this is put to rest because we've been doing this over and over, and he's constantly saying that he's right. Her words were dead wrong.
Right.
And that to me means more than anything.
Right. And so,
Hi, Kelly.
Who did he pass to get the record?
Trevor Hoffman.
That's
And he's
right.
got 603.
Well, it was 602 when he passed him. How many does he have in the postseason? He has that record
42,
too.
right?
All right. Okay. Good job. Head right down this way.
Thank you.
You can see pictures and video of the judge with Mariano on the website, peoplescourt.com. Harvey?
What I like about this case is these litigants were friendly. I mean, you don't always have to have animosity in court. They had a disagreement, they couldn't work out, they wanted a judge to do it, and they're probably going to be friends, which is a good thing. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Mark Green. He says he was working for the defendant, a general contractor, and on the job she slipped and broke her leg. She asked him to testify and be her witness because she was going to sue, and if she won a judgment, she'd pay him $1,000. Well, she won all right. He heard the judgment was for $45 large. And do you think the defendant held up her end of the bargain and paid him his $1,000? That's right, a big fat no. So he's suing here and now. This is the defendant, Rita Alday. She says she did ask the plaintiff to tell her lawyer what happened the day she slipped, and he did his civic duty. She never ever promised the guy money. In fact, it's downright disgusting he would actually make up a story like this and try to extort money from her. Oh, him? Ha! She's accused of not paying off a witness.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Mark Green?
Yes.
You are suing Rita Alday for $1,000, the amount you say she owes you because she promised to pay you if you served as a witness for her on a case, and she has since settled the case and has refused to pay you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Your Honor, I met Rita, the defendant, about 3 years ago, probably around 2009. She was actually acting as a contractor for a project she was doing on a house, and asked me if I would do some work for her, and I said yes. It turned out to be she wanted me to dig a trench for her. So from that time on, it was pretty close to the last day before I would have had the job completed.
And that was how many days into it?
That was like maybe 4 days into it. The fifth day, I believe it was, before I was finished, I came around the corner and she fell on a woman's property and broke her femur.
Did you see her fall?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
What did she fall on?
She tripped over the sidewalk. I guess the height of it had something to do with it. Anyway, she fell. I didn't hear from Rita for almost 2 weeks.
But what happened when she fell? Did you run up to her?
I was gonna help her up, Your Honor.
Okay.
But the thing was, she asked me not to touch her, leave her alone, because she knew she broke something. You know. So I left her on the ground there, until the ambulance came. Ambulance came and got her.
So who called the ambulance?
I guess the homeowner.
Okay.
The homeowner.
What happened to you that day?
Well, when I get out of the door, it's dark. The owner didn't turn on the light, so you don't see where you're walking, and I fell.
What did you trip on? What was it uneven? What was the problem?
It's like an even surface of the walkway.
It was an uneven surface. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you went with the ambulance, and what was the damage?
I broke my right femur.
Oh goodness. Okay. So did you have surgery?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And they put a rod in my leg.
And they put a rod in your leg. Okay. So you institute a lawsuit against the homeowner.
Yes.
Correct? And according to him, you told him, if you testify for me, I'll what?
Well, the thing was, she stated to me, she says, I need your help. And I said, yeah. I said, well, I told her straight out, I don't really want to get involved with this. You know, I said, I don't want to get involved with, oh, don't worry about it. I'll take care of you. That was the word I heard. Okay.
Wait,
okay.
Back it up, because I want to know exactly how it works. Somebody calls you and says, will you tell people what you saw? You're a witness. And you say, I don't want to get involved.
I told her I did not want to get involved in it because I knew it was going to matter of me going back and forth to court, testifying for her and then stuff like that. I didn't want to get involved in it. And I'm saying that would have involved me taking time off for the jobs I was doing and stuff.
No?
So I told her no, I didn't want to get involved with it.
And then she said,
she was talking about, she said, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll buy my sister's car for you. So I said, okay, you know, I wasn't talking about no $10,000 car or nothing like that, you know, just even a hoopty, you know, put it like that.
Testimony like for that. A hoopty.
Yeah. But I'm saying something would have been better than nothing, you know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it. That's how I am.
So she tells you that I know you need a car, and what else is she saying?
She was going to get the car, buy the car off her sister.
And then you say...
And I started thinking about it. I said, you know, that car her sister had was smoking.
That car
was actually smoking because I know people who looked at the car.
Smoking as in good?
An engine,
or smoking as in smoking bad?
Yeah, it was smoking.
Okay.
It was smoking. So I said, no, I don't want the car. I said, give me $1,000. You know, I said, I'll take $1,000. I said, oh, okay, I can do that. Okay. Now it goes on for maybe 2 or 3 more years, this case does.
And what is it you have to do during that time?
Okay, I went to a lawyer's a couple times in the town of Norwich. Twice I had to go redo the statement over for her. Meanwhile, she's bugging me all the time. Mark, I got this paperwork for you. I want you to check it out.
So then what happens is years pass. You're not taken care of. Do you ever call her and tell her, hey, what's going on?
No, I lived in the same building now. I moved into the same building.
Oh my God, what are the odds?
You know what I'm saying?
So now you're in the same building.
So she's my landlord now.
Wait, no, she's your landlord? For real? Are you his landlord? Oh my God. Do you have a lease?
Yeah.
Do you have a lease?
Oh, not now. It expired.
So now you're month to month and you're suing your landlord?
On week to week.
You're week to week? Aren't you worried she's going to evict you because you sued her?
No, I'm not worried about that.
Because you don't care if you have to leave?
What? No, I'm at the point where I'm saying I'm almost ready to do that anyway.
Okay. So what made you finally sue? You found out she settled?
Yeah, I called her lawyer. I talked to her attorney after.
Do you know how much she settled for?
No, that wasn't given to me. See, here's what it was.
So you ended up having to give a statement, talk to her lawyer, and come back for a deposition?
Yeah, this is a second lawyer.
Okay.
This is a second lawyer. That's not the first lawyer.
You tell me what's going on.
I never promised anything. I asked Mark Green for his to do his civil duty. And no promises were made.
Something tells me Mark Green might not voluntarily do his civic duty. I don't know why I say that, but there's something about Mark Green.
She knows that.
That Mr. Green wants green. And Mr. Green is not going to do his civic. Mr. Green is exactly the kind of guy who would look you right. Just a second. Just a second. Mr. Green's exactly the kind of guy who would look you in the eye and say, "What's in it for me?" That's the kind of guy he is.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't be so proud of that, but that's the kind of guy he is.
Oh, yeah, he can lie and look in you directly to the eyes.
Yes.
And?
Yes.
Stop talking. And?
He can do that. He's very good at that. He's very good in lying.
Okay, well, you tell me what happened.
I never did anything promising this guy of any monetary or promise something that doesn't belong to me. He wanted the money because that's what he wanted.
Okay, well, what, did you lead him to believe you'd be giving him the money if he just cooperated?
I just asked him. He was there when I fell. Will he witness what happened to me?
And what did he say?
He said yes.
And so he just went each and every time to to talk to your lawyer, to fill out statements, even though there was going to be nothing in it for him?
Only one time he went to my lawyer, that my lawyer asked me if I can bring him there to hear what he write in the statement is true.
Okay, and
So
did he go to a
bring it-
deposition?
No, not deposition.
And
Just
according
my
to you,
lawyer.
you did go to a deposition, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
okay. And did you ever promise him anything in return for helping you out and taking all this time out and going through this trouble?
No, Mom, I cannot do that.
Why
That's
can't you do
bribing
that?
your witness.
Wait,
That's
stop.
against
Why
the
can't
law.
you do that?
That's no good.
Why is
a
it no
witness
good?
should witness what he see.
Yeah.
And that's all that they're supposed to be.
Right.
Nothing more.
Right.
When we went
Do you
to
think this does not go on?
Excuse me?
Do you think it doesn't go on that people pay people to be witnesses? The illegal part is if you're paying somebody to be a witness and they're lying, you're paying them to lie, and you know you're paying them to lie, that you'd land in jail. But if you are worried about somebody not cooperating and you offer him money, the obligation that you or your lawyer have is to tell the other side you did that, answer truthfully if the other side asks. Would anybody ask you at a deposition whether or not you were receiving any remuneration, any money for?
No.
The question wasn't asked?
No. I asked.
The question wasn't asked?
No.
Oh my God!
No.
Honestly, where do these people
when
get their
I
law
had
degrees?
when I spoke to her, the second attorney, Your Honor, and I called her attorney and said, I'm not testifying for her.
Okay.
You know, she was really rotten and mean at the time, and I said I wasn't going to do it. I told her attorney. And I said, and besides, I said, she told me she was going to promise me she was going to help me out with what's name. And I said, I'm not doing it unless I get it in writing. You know what I'm saying?
What did the attorney say?
So the attorney said, I can have that done. We can arrange that,
And did
right?
they?
Right? No, because I'm saying, after I spoken to the attorney, you know, this is after I spoke to the attorney. The attorney says, we can have that arranged. I guess it was 2 weeks later. I guess it was settled out of court. I never got the chance to put it in writing. You know?
Yes, ma'am.
How much did it settle for?
$62,000.
I couldn't get $5. I couldn't get $10.
We got more than that, Your
Why
Honor.
wouldn't you just do it for that warm, fuzzy, all over glow? You know they can subpoena you. Of course you can subpoena somebody. Stop. You don't need to pay anybody to testify. If they saw something, your lawyer can drag them in and subpoena them. You're probably going to spend more than $1,000 getting investigators, going to courts, paying your lawyer to go to court, trying to drag the person in. So sometimes people just go ahead and handle it a different way, like the way he's saying that they handle it. What is it that would make Mr. Green, who clearly is angry that you have apparently settled your lawsuit without considering him, taking care of him. The problem I'm having is that you want me to believe that he's the kind of guy who would do this for the fuzzy, warm, all over glow of civic mindedness. And I got to tell you, he doesn't strike me like that kind of guy.
He's a liar in a lot of things.
Do you understand the irony of that?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So can you, if you're a litigant in a case, can you go to somebody and say, look, I know you're a witness for me. I'll give you $100 if you testify?
No.
Why?
Because it's against the law.
Is it really?
I think so.
What do you think?
I think it's probably illegal.
Why?
Well, because you can't tamper with a witness.
Well, all you're saying is, look, I'll pay you for your trouble. If you take time off work, I'll give you $100 for your trouble.
But that would be tampering with a witness. That's making the decision go for you, and it's not fair.
Well, but you're not putting words in their mouth. You're just saying I'll compensate you for coming to court.
You still can't do it. It's against the law. I mean, if I gave you $100 and told you, okay, well, go to court and something happens to me.
I can answer it. I'll take the money. There you go. That's just me going inside the courtroom.
Do you understand that you're telling me that the guy who's a liar is the very guy who your whole case was based on? Him, the liar, is the one who was your whole case.
It depends for what he lied about.
Oh, okay. So he's telling the truth about your case, but he's telling the truth when it helps you, but he's lying when it's against you.
The thing is, he can lie with a lot of things. He can look in my face and say, there's no heat in my house when there's heat. Right to my face. He can
you know
lie
what,
in a
Ms.
lot-
Alday? I walked out here thinking, this guy's just angry that he had to testify and that he thought maybe she made some amorphous claim about, I'll take care of you, and then he thought she'd take care of him, but there's no real... But I'm pretty clear you offered this man $1,000 for his testimony. I'm pretty stinking clear about it. And you know what? if that's how you want to roll and run that risk, of course, I can't imagine being an attorney, taking a deposition and not asking every single witness whether they were offered something in return for their testimony. That's bizarre to me. And of course, if an attorney or a litigant decides to pay someone for their testimony and that comes out and then a jury hears it, they're going to think that person's worthless. But I guess you or your attorney figure that if you settle it, jury will never hear it and it'll be worth it. You'll have a really good witness for you. Either way, all I've got to concern myself with is this. Did you offer this man $1,000 to not hassle you and just go through with stuff? And I think you did. I think you did, because it would have cost you more to compel him to testify based on attorney time and based on having subpoenas and then making sure you could find him so he wouldn't duck the subpoena. You had to make sure this guy stuck around and had a reason to, because he is not the kind of guy who just does his civic duty. He's just not. He's not. So I know you promised him something so that you wouldn't have to go through that hassle. And if it weren't for that, you wouldn't have 62 grand in your pocket. So frankly, I think you should just pay up. $1,000 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Both sides.
Well, here comes the defendant after losing this case. Here, stand right next to me here. Come on in a little bit. What's your reaction to the judge's verdict?
Well, that's the judge, how the judge feel about it. Yes. What can I say?
How do you feel about it?
I don't feel right because I didn't promise anything. But that's the way she look at it, so...
Yeah.
You know.
So are you going to let him... He can still live there, right? And
what?
He can still live... you're the landlord. He's still welcome to live in your place, right?
I don't know, but I've been telling him I don't need his rent. He can go anytime.
Okay. All right. All right, you just head right down this way, okay?
Okay, right.
This way, this way.
Okay.
Thank you. Come on. Let's get you out of here.
All right, so come on in here. What's your feeling on this? How it came out?
You know, she lied all from the start. It was a big lie, one big lie after another, you know, and she told me she was going to get me the car or give me the money. She didn't do it. Matter of fact, she got more money than I thought she got. I thought she only got about $45,000.
I saw your reaction.
She said $60,000 and couldn't give me $1,000.
You never knew that until you heard it in court?
No, I didn't, because I couldn't actually ask her lawyer how much she settled for, because her lawyer wouldn't have divulged that information to me.
You think you're going to be looking for a new place to live pretty soon, or what?
You know, really... I pay a weekly rent. Every time I get my check, I give it to her. She cashes it. So, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like she can throw me out. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, you got a little bit more to pay the rent now.
I know.
Over to Harvey.
Okay, so you guys are all wrong. It's illegal to pay a witness, but if the other side is smart, the first thing they ask the witness is, did that person pay you to come to court? And as soon as they say yes, it really, really damages their credibility. So that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Thurn Shivers. She says she had all her precious belongings stored at the defendant's storage facility. And when she picked her things up, a lot of her stuff was missing. The guy offered her $100 for her troubles. $100? Are you kidding? She's missing $2,731 worth of stuff. And that's exactly what she's suing for today. This is the defendant, Anthony Pepe. He says they took pictures of all of her belongings, made an itemized list of the things, and claims the plaintiff is nothing more than a scammer trying to extort a monetary windfall from them. She's simply trying to work the system, and the judge will see right through it, and he'll walk out of the courthouse today innocent of all charges. He's accused of stealing valuable belongings.
Thank you, Douglas. Thurn Shivers?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the moving company. You've asked us not to mention the name, represented here by Anthony Pepe?
Yes.
Okay, for $2,731 that you say you were out as a result of things that they lost?
Yes,
Tell me what's going on.
Well, I was evicted out of my apartment on July 11th, and the apartment complex hired the storage company to come.
Why were you evicted?
I couldn't afford the rent.
Were you physically evicted?
Yes.
You didn't move when a judge told you to move?
No, ma'am.
Okay, can you tell me why?
Because I was looking for cheaper housing. That was the problem with the apartment.
But I mean, you're getting notices posted telling you, we really mean it. You got to get out. Don't make us move you. Move yourself. And you didn't do that?
Yeah, I was looking for housing.
I know. Well, but apparently the deadline came and you still hadn't left.
Yes.
Okay. Had you moved some of your stuff, but not all of your stuff? What had you done?
Well, I hadn't moved anything. The only thing
Not
I
a
really
thing.
moved.
Do you live there with somebody else?
Yes, my 6-year-old son, my 23-year-old niece, and her 15-month-old baby.
Okay. So then what happened?
When I seen the truck outside, I immediately went downstairs and spoke with the owner of the business.
Okay.
He seen the police coming. He said, you need to get away from my car because the sheriff doesn't like us speaking to the people who are about to get evicted. There were so many people in the house. He advised me that they...
What do you mean? You mean employees of theirs?
Yes.
Okay.
There were so many people in there in a one-bedroom. They was just running in and out. He told me that I wasn't allowed to take food to the storage, so I was taking my plants and the food that I did have to a neighbor's house till I can come back for it. By the time I came back from the neighbor's house, everything in the apartment was gone. Even the personal items that we were going to take to live off of were gone. So I had...
What do you mean the personal items we were going to take to live off?
Like the clothes, you know.
I know, but you do know that maybe you should have taken care of that before that moment. Yeah, they meant business when they got there.
Well,
you know that
was...
because all of the postings from the sheriff that kept telling you to get your act together. You know, you got to act like a grown-up. You have a 6-year-old depending on you. So when you say, can you believe it, they were efficient? Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. That's what they got paid. You get paid by the landlord to physically move her, right?
Yes.
That's what they get paid by the landlord to do, not to take all day and give you more time. Past the time the truck gets there. That time was all past. In any event, you then leave your stuff there for how long?
My stuff...
because what ends up happening is they take it to their own moving and storage facility.
Yes.
Right.
They gave me 30 days. I was supposed to come get my things on the 15th of August. So I went on the 15th, nobody was there.
Nobody was in the storage facility?
Nobody was in the storage facility at all.
Is it ever unmanned?
Well, yeah. Our storage facility is not like a public storage. It's, we do evictions. So it's not
that's
like...
all you do?
It's
Okay.
not like it's open for a public storage where you come in and out. That's why we inform them when they come to get their stuff, you have to take everything. One shot.
Okay. And then you come back when?
I went on the...
Okay, let's move this along a little bit here. When you eventually get your stuff to wherever you've now... Where did you land? Where did you end up?
I ended up in public storage across the street from their facility.
Is the stuff still there?
My stuff?
Yeah, in a public storage
Yeah,
facility?
I had to move my stuff to a public
Where
storage.
are you living?
I've been staying with different friends.
Okay. All right. Now, you eventually get the stuff out of there. And when you did that, how does this work?
Well, when I went to go retrieve my stuff, like I said, he wasn't there on the day he was supposed to be there. I didn't actually retrieve my personal property until the 17th of August.
Okay, so on the 17th, you move your stuff out.
Uh-huh.
Is there any paperwork from the 17th?
No.
They don't do paperwork.
Well, because she was so late to come get her stuff. We actually moved you into
Okay, don't talk to her. The time
we
for that
actually
is
moved
come.
her into the public storage.
You guys moved her?
We did.
She
In
didn't move
our
her
truck.
stuff to the...
For free.
For free?
For
because
free.
you wanted it out of there?
We moved it from our facility to a public storage.
That's across the way?
It's a couple blocks away.
And did you have her sign anything, acknowledging that she'd received everything?
No, because...
That would be a good policy, though, wouldn't it? Because look at you now. Now she's suing you saying that you guys lost $2,800 worth of stuff.
I understand that, but...
Right. Well, tell me your side of the case. And by the way, what do you say they lost?
My laptop computer, my son's Wii is missing, my futon is missing, my microwave is missing, both televisions is missing.
What did you get?
Some clothes. They gave me some clothes.
All right, let's hold. Tell me your side of this.
Okay, I have pictures of everything that we took out of her apartment and then also an inventory. We do that every time we walk into an apartment, just for cases like this.
Okay.
You can clearly see there's no futon in any of the pictures. There's a TV there, there's a microwave.
Okay.
We take all her stuff, we pack it up, we put it into our facility.
Okay.
She never came for her stuff. She came one time without a truck.
Okay.
And then we wound up moving it for her.
Okay.
I mean, if there was we offered to give her a microwave because she originally said just a microwave is missing.
She originally said only a microwave?
Just a microwave. We offered to give her a microwave because a lot of people don't come back for the stuff. We have microwaves in there. We'll give her a microwave.
What do you do with that stuff? Do you end up having like a sale? What do you...
To be honest with you, we usually just dump it.
Donate it. Dump it?
Yeah.
You don't even, okay. All right, so go on.
You know, we take everything from the apartment. We don't take food, like she said. That's correct. We don't take food. We don't take liquid, stuff like, because you can't store that.
Right.
You know, we take everything. We don't take bed bugs, mice, roaches, stuff like. We don't take any of that stuff.
Okay, that's good.
We leave all that in the apartment.
Okay.
We took all her stuff. We have all her stuff. So, you know, I don't know where she's coming from with $2,800 worth of stuff. I don't think there's $2,800 worth of stuff in those pictures.
And when stuff goes out, you don't inventory it either. When stuff goes out, like when you moved her, you didn't inventory it, photograph it, or you didn't do the same precautions that you did here.
When we moved it from our facility
Yes.
to the public storage,
Right.
no. I mean, we all literally went across the street.
Right. When they moved your stuff, were you there?
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't charge her at all for doing that?
No.
No good deed. Were you there?
Yes, I was
Okay.
there.
And did he says that when you first complained, you complained that a microwave was missing. I see the microwave in the picture.
That's not true. The first thing I complained about being missing was the televisions, because you would be able to see TVs. They have all your stuff sitting.
Okay, and how did you complain about the TV being missing?
Well, when I walked up, I seen the stuff out. There was some workers out there. So I was like, well, this is not all of my stuff. He was like, what do you mean this is not all your stuff? I said, my TVs is missing, all my electronics is missing, the microwave is missing, the futon is missing. There was a man there with dreads in his hair. He called the owner. He said, she's saying her stuff is missing. The owner told him, well, go back in the thing and look. The guy said, I already looked. There's nothing else in there.
Okay. There is a futon in the picture. I think, is this what you're calling a futon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so go on.
The place was horrendous when I went there to find my stuff. It's just this big old warehouse where they just stuff everybody's stuff in there. No labels on them.
Look, here, let me just say a few things, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
People aren't allowed to treat your stuff without respect.
Yes.
But do you, see the big scheme of this whole thing about how much trouble you bought yourself because you couldn't get your act together back then? I mean, it's one thing to ride out the eviction process. That's, okay, fine, a lot of people do that. But to get to the point where the marshals have to physically move you, that puts you in the 1% of people who still can't get their act together. And really, what you tell me, well, Judge, I'm staying with friends. Those friends are friends that you knew from before. You didn't just make them, right? Yeah. So how could you not get your act together then? And when you're talking about the things that you're missing, assuming that you are missing them, do you have any proof of the value of these things? It's basically every electronic. You're saying I'm missing, TVs, Wii's. Do you have any proof?
All of my receipts, because I'm very business oriented.
Are you?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Because I got to tell you, you don't sound it.
Well, the reason, like I said, I got evicted is because the rent was
There's no shame in getting evicted. It's the knowing that the end is near. That you have a 6-year-old child and you clearly have friends that are helping you out, and you don't make it so that happens before we get to this. That's the part that I think is a really dangerous way to live, because this is a lot more trouble than just having done what you needed to do as a grown-up.
So 2 used TVs and a futon, what's it worth?
About $500 at the most.
$500. TVs plummet in value once you start using them?
$1,000. Depreciation value, it just goes down once you use it.
Okay, 500, 1,000. Do I hear less or more?
$250 at the most.
$250 to the cheapskate over here in the corner going inside the courtroom.
After I got the stipulation from the court, I went through all the proper channels to try to not get evicted out of the place. I went to the congresswoman, I went to the assemblywoman.
The congresswoman can't help you. Pack your stuff and get to a different apartment. That's what grown-ups do when they have a 6-year-old child. If it's just you and you want to live like that, that's fine. But, you don't. We're done talking about that topic. We don't need to read.
I did try to find an apartment, though.
Okay,
I have
great.
proof of that.
I got it, Ms. Shivers. I got it. Let me tell you a couple of issues I have with the case. First of all, you have zero proof about the value of things that you're talking about here. You have a laundry list. First, you sued for $5,000, which is a statutory maximum.
Yes.
Then, when the court staff told you have to itemize this, you realized how ridiculous it was to try to get to $5,000. Then, all of a sudden, it's half of $5,000. There's not one receipt from top to bottom for anything that you say is missing, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Not one. Not a single receipt. Not one. for the Wii or the microwave or the television or the futon or anything else. But let me tell you what the problems I have with you are, because you're not a whole lot better as a business than she is, all right? You tell me, Judge, look at the itemization here. There's no futon there, and in the picture there's a futon. I don't see it listed there, and yet it's there. I don't think it's a valuable futon. I'm not going to assess the value that she talks about it if I were to award her anything. But, you guys have a system, supposedly. You photograph and you list, so it should be a little more reliable. But more importantly, maybe if you're trying to get somebody out of your hair, you should have them sign something, right? That says, all right, in exchange for us providing moving services to you, we're done. And, we release each other from any and all future claim. I mean, you have to have a system. You have a little bit of a system in the beginning, you have zero system in the end, it appears, which is very odd, okay? The problem that I have is, Ms. Shivers, is that even if something was missing, which I'm not positive that it was, but even if something was missing, it's almost impossible to just pick some figure out of the sky for you because you're so unreliable. What I'm going to do is order the moving and storage company to pay you the value of the microwave, which is $100.
I lost everything.
Well, she sued for a lot more than that, and she got $100 in the verdict. Come on out here. You had a stunned look on your face when that verdict came in.
Because he robbed me. It's just, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. I'm really, really shocked. And I'm going to have to find a way to handle this differently.
All right, well, good
I
luck.
have to go to district attorney's office.
Okay, come on in here. What about your system? Your system doesn't prove that the people leave with their stuff.
Well, we clearly have pictures of everything that we
Coming in.
Yeah, but it was
not leaving.
It was after her 30 days were up. So we did her the favor.
Did you offer her anything to settle this thing?
A microwave.
You offered her the microwave. That was it.
That was it.
Mm-hmm. What do you think happened to all her stuff then? What do you think happened here in this case?
I think she's lying.
Yeah.
We don't make a habit of stealing people's microwaves.
Okay, to the street, Harvey.
So here's the thing, when you move, I gotta tell you, lots of stuff is going in and out and in boxes and this and that. You should take pictures of all your stuff before the move and then after the move, but take pictures as the movers are there or before the stuff gets packed. It is the only way you're gonna truly be able to prove what was really damaged and what wasn't. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Donald Brown. He says he brought his car into the defendant's shop to have it fully restored in May of 2006. And 1 year later, the car hadn't been worked on. When he asked the defendant what he used the $2,000 he gave him for, the guy told him storage. Storage? The defendant then told him he wanted more money to start the actual work on the car. And that's when he decided to go after the con man. He's suing for $2,000, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Eddie Abraham. He says the plaintiff told him he was going to get all the necessary parts for the car restoration, and the thing sat in his shop for 3 months while he waited and waited for them to come in. The parts never did arrive. The plaintiff took his car, and now 6 years later, he's suing for the money he spent on storing the thing? Come on. He's accused of taking his sweet time. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,000 for the safekeeping of the plaintiff's vehicle.
Thank you, Douglas. Donald Brown, you are suing the auto body repair place, represented here by Eddie Abraham. You are the owner of that auto body shop. All right. For $2,000 that you say you paid him to do work on your car and he did nothing. You are counterclaiming against him $1,000 in storage fees. Okay, what's going on?
In April and May of 2006, I have a 1976 Buick Riviera that I bought originally back in the day.
Back in 76?
Back in 76.
You've had it since then?
Yes.
God bless you.
And over the time, it's a little bit of wear and tear and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
I needed to get the car restored. So my brother's a mechanic and knows people in this line of work and so forth. So I talked to him and he suggested that he would take me to a good friend of his named Eddie Abraham. And so after taking the car to him, we sat down and discussed it and the whole bit, what was to be done. I wanted the car fully restored. I made that very clear from day one, okay? And so after talking about it and the whole bit, Eddie told me that he would need a deposit and so forth and so on.
I'm sorry. You were going to get the car fully restored in return for paying him what? What was the deal?
Well, I don't know exactly what I was gonna, what the bill came to because I never got a estimate from the gentleman.
Well, then why would you leave him the car or pay him $2,000?
Well, my brother knew the guy very, very well. He was a good friend of his and so forth. So in good faith.
He's blaming you for the deal he made. How's that?
No. In good faith.
Just like old times. Go ahead. Wait, come on up, brother.
In good faith.
Hold on. What's your name?
David Brown.
Okay, Mr. Brown, were you around when he bought the car? I don't know how old you guys are. Were you kids when he bought the car? Teenagers when he bought the car?
Yes.
So does that car have a lot of memories?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Okay.
76 Riviera.
No one can let this 76 Riviera go, huh?
Absolutely.
All right. Were you privy to the deal he was striking with this gentleman?
Yes, Eddie's a good friend of mine, and
Is he still a good friend of yours?
Yes, he is. I'm not going to lose anything over this.
Okay, because your brother's a little angry right now that he paid him $2,000, and according to the brother, Eddie didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right?
That's correct.
Okay, so God, you can have a seat. So you pay him $2,000, and nothing happens for how many months?
I paid him $2,000 probably within about a 5 or 6 month period. When I went to talk to Eddie and said, Eddie, I don't know what's going on, but when you're ready to start the car and so forth. And I said, by the way, my brother has access to areas where he could get parts and so forth. So he suggested that maybe he would be able to get them. And he said to me, no, I'm not interested in that because I don't have any place to store the parts. You can see my lot is full and I have no place to store it. I said, well, if I get the stuff, I'll have it just sent over to you. No, he didn't want that. So I said, okay.
So you're not supposed to be getting any parts?
No. So
all right, so then what happens?
So then at that point, I still waited for Eddie to call me back. Eddie never called me, never said anything about the car whatsoever. Okay? Then I have to go by there again and ask about the car. He said he wasn't ready yet.
Okay, what's going on, Mr. Abraham? Tell me what's going on. Why is the car there for all those months and nothing happened?
When Mr. Brown brought me the vehicle, I was forewarned by other people that he's looking for a place to leave the car. So what I did was I said, well, listen, before you bring me the car, I want to know that he's serious. Bring me a deposit in good faith so that I can get started on the vehicle. He told me, and I also told him not to leave the car until he has his parts because he located quarter panels. As a matter of fact, he told me he found another car that he could get the used quarter panels from and all these different parts. I said, I don't want you to bring me the car until you have the parts and the deposit.
Okay, so stop.
He told me I'll leave the car.
No, stop.
I'm sorry.
Listen to my question.
Mm-hmm.
So then the deal was, according to you,
yes,
that you would fix the car.
Yes.
The $2,000's a down payment on what it's going to cost to fix.
Yes.
You two you don't know what it's going to cost to fix, so you don't have an estimate.
I gave him a roundabout price, but you really can't with restorations because you can't know until you get into the vehicle.
Right.
Right.
And you gave him a roundabout price of what?
Well, he told me that he had a budget. I believe your budget was about $8 grand, 10 grand.
Okay, so you told him, well, that's what it's going to be, 8 grand, 10 grand.
Right.
Right. Yeah, of course. All right, and then now. And that includes that he provides all the parts?
Yeah.
Okay, can I just see your agreement with him? This is super simple. Show me in writing where that was the agreement, because he says he was not providing parts. And I am, as a betting woman, I'm going to bet that the next thing you're going to say is, Judge, he never brought me parts, so I never started the work, right?
Well, I'm going to tell you this, the truth, Judge, is that...
Is that what you're going to say?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. But
So
that
show
was
me
the
the
agreement.
contract.
But now, the reason...
Show me the contract.
I don't have a contract.
You show me the contract.
I have no contract, Your Honor, simply because he never gave me a contract whatsoever.
How do people do $8,000 to $10,000 to $2,000 business deal, and they don't think that it should be in writing because one day they may end up in court like this? With their hands raised like little school children, both of them at the same time, trying to get the last word so the judge will believe it's their way.
So can this guy sue after 6 years? Does it make sense?
No, it doesn't.
Why?
Because car breaks down every time. It doesn't, and some parts doesn't have a warranty, some parts does, so it depends on the warranty.
So in other words, you don't know what's going to happen in that 6-year period?
No, that's way, way too long.
Just not fair.
Not fair at all.
Going inside the courtroom.
Who's that fellow over there? Come on up. Who are you? Why are you here?
My name is Charles Williams. I'm Eddie's brother, older brother.
Oh, everybody brought their brothers? Was this in a schoolyard fight?
No, we're going to remain good friends.
Always. We can always be good friends.
Okay.
For sure.
But for space to put the car, parts of the car, we have ample enough space. You know, it never was an issue. I came to the auto, and I asked Dean, I call him Dean, about the car. I would have took the car, 76 Riviera. But you know, he said it belonged to someone. You know, and I came again, and it was still there. You know, but we had plenty enough space to put parts to the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Abraham, let me ask you sort of a different, you can go ahead and sit, thanks. Oh, let me ask you sort of a different question. Did you ever tell him, no, wait until I have a chance to start the car?
He wanted to bring, I asked him to bring me the parts. I had the car. I can't do anything.
But he wanted to bring a whole car?
Don't bring a whole car.
Okay.
Parts, no problem with that.
But not a whole car? Just
not a whole car to be cut up into pieces for parts, no. No.
You known these guys for how long?
Many years. Many years, yes.
So how does it get this bad? Like, how do you not, like, work this out before it gets here? How do you say to him, you owe me storage? You don't have a contract for storage, right? Like, you don't have a contract.
I do. I have. It's posted. It's posted in my shop. Like I said, Judge, this is since 2005.
The car's not still there, is it?
No, thank God.
No.
But what happened is, what I'm saying to you,
Did you ever get it restored?
It's waiting right now to be done. Yes.
It's waiting right now, 6 years after you started
well,
with
I'm
him?
trying to recoup my money from this bad deal that I struck with this gentleman from the very beginning.
Bad deal, okay.
Well, but it is. If nothing got done, now what you're saying is it didn't get done because you didn't do your job. Now he says, yeah, Judge, but I wanted to bring the parts over to him, and he said no. Then you say, yeah, I actually did say no, not to the whole, but to the whole car, not to a few parts here and there, but to the whole. It's like a messy little, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it got this far with friends, because nobody's really 100% right. And I'm going to be forced to choose. I don't split babies. I don't split babies. There's either a right answer or a wrong answer. I'm going to find the right answer. That's how it works. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Judge, he can't expect me to disassemble a car to build a car for a budget of $8,000 or $10,000, number one. To be fair, to be honest.
Right.
I went to his place of business several times to look for this gentleman. I've been to his home, to his brother's home, looking for this guy several times.
In order to say or do what?
To say, please come get your car. I don't want to keep his car. I got plenty of work there, and I wasn't looking to keep his car. And these are friends of mine. I'm not looking to take money from him, but you can't leave your car with me for 6 months, 7 months, and they say, okay, give me my car and my deposit back, and you haven't brought not one part back to me yet to repair the vehicle. I don't think that's fair.
Was there anything that you could have done to the car without him bringing you a part?
You see, the car is completely rotted. You can see from the side of the car to the floor from the outside. The car is completely rotted, Your Honor. So, no, there's no repairing that. Things have to be replaced.
Did you ever have him sign a storage contract?
Well, it's posted on my office, on the door of the office, and
if he's supposed to bring the parts, which I'm not sure how this happened between you two, whether it was canis mas macho or whether it was a misunderstanding, you know, because I know he wanted to get the thing done. So when he would call you, when you would call him, what would he say to you? I'm busy? Or would he say, get me the part? What would he say to you?
He was never ready to do the car. Not once has he ever been.
He would say to you, I'm still too busy? I'm asking you, what did he say to you?
Also, when he decided he was not going to do my car, he took my car and put it on the street. Never even called me back, called and said, Donald, look, I'm not going to do your car. My brother's driving down the street. He sees the car parked on the street. He calls me at my store and says, Don, where's your car? I said, what do you mean, where's my car? It's at the shop. Hopefully he's going to start it. I thought it was good news. Turned out it was bad news. He said, well, your car's not at the shop. It's parked on the street. Never once did he ever call me telling me that my car was on the street. Not once did he ever call me and tell me, Mr. Brown, come over and let's talk about starting the car.
I told you, Dave, many times, I said, Dave, I can't keep this car. I'm about to push it on the street. And I did tell you that.
Mr. Abraham, here's where we are. And Mr. Brown, let me tell you where we are. If you want to enforce in court a deal, you need to be able to prove to me that that was the deal. I have a very messy factual situation about the deal in this case, about who's supposed to bring the parts. I'm not sure which came first, the chicken and the egg on that, but let me tell you the part I am sure about, okay? I am sure that there is no, at least certainly none that has been brought to me, storage contract between you and the defendant. I understand what you're saying, that there's a sign up there. The sign up there is for after work is done, when people still leave the thing there. It does not mean that while you're working on a car that you're charging storage every day that you're working on a car. So that sign doesn't really pertain to him unless and until we've gotten to the break point. I'm not sure who was supposed to bring the parts, when they were supposed to bring the parts, but I don't know that that's what's responsible for the delay. I have to have some inkling of that. I have none. I have nothing from you. Certainly, but whether or not I have that, I certainly don't have. The reason you're claiming $2,000 without doing a stitch of work is storage. I don't have an agreement from him to pay storage for you. All right? So you're not going to get to keep the $2,000 for storage, nor prevail on your counterclaim against him for an additional $1,000 in storage. I am going to order you on his lawsuit against you to pay him the $2,000. That's where it's going to end. Good luck, folks.
Thank you. I wonder how good that friendship is now. All right, step on in here. I mean, you guys have been seeing each other regularly as friends from that time until now?
Yeah.
I mean, as recently as when?
Well, I saw Dave last week.
Right.
Yeah, but we're still going to be friends. I mean, I'm glad this don't start a lot of money. I mean, if this is all it takes to fix the situation, I'm glad it's over with, man.
All right, all right.
All right.
Contracts, you know, things in writing.
Oh, we have
time?
contracts. So
Okay.
we have
All right, all right.
things. A lot of things have changed.
All right, head right around the corner right there. There go those brothers. Let's get these brothers in here now. All right, how you feeling about how this came out?
Good.
Yeah. You guys still buddies? I mean,
well, he was never my friend in the very beginning. I never got a chance to say that. It's my brother's friend,
All right,
and I hope
so-
he's still friends with him. To tell you the truth,
Ask him.
I'm sure he is.
He is, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, so no hard feelings on the thing. Terrible business deal. Nothing in writing. You give him your car, you give him money, you got nothing written down. What are you doing?
Well, it was because it was my brother's friend. I kind of stuck my neck out there for a moment. My mistake, because I'm a businessman, and I should know better. But in good faith, when you give somebody $2,000, he's a friend of your brother. Okay, you figured he's going to do what's right. Okay,
I'd give my brother $2,000, but I wouldn't give his friend $2,000.
You're right about that,
Harvey.
Okay, the plaintiff won this case, fair enough. But the fact is, when you start smelling trouble, what you need to do is act on your rights. When you sit on your hands in an unreasonable amount of time, you literally could compromise or lose your rights entirely.